Welcome to Semper Hooah podcast.
Gotcha. Speaking of, how'd you cut yourself again?
K-bar. Very, very effective. And dude, this thing went in deep.
How do you not
And it
have a
literally,
multi-tool on you?
dude,
at
it
all
had
times?
no blood on it. No blood
Of course not.
on that knife. It was clean as a whistle.
K-bar.
Was it a actual K-bar or the
Actual
or the
K-bar.
kookery K-bar?
Like the K-bars that we got reissued, like
Yeah.
the new ones.
Yeah.
It's one of those. My wife bought it for me for like a Christmas present.
Oh, that's
So I
sweet.
keep it on me. We got, the truck guns, and then we got ammo, and then we got knives.
nice.
We're ready.
All right, start the show. Yeah, we are.
We're ready.
All right. Welcome to Semper Hooah podcast. All right.
Hooah!
Oh, Sammy, good to see you.
Yeah.
John Lancey's back.
I'm back.
The
I'm
trophy
back.
husband. He's back.
Yes. As my wife would say, participation trophy, but technically still a trophy.
Yes.
Skis behind the stick.
First of all, that doesn't say anything
Yeah.
about you. It says everything about her.
Love it. Skis behind the stick, filling in for Jonesy this week.
I am God. Yep.
I am God.
Petey is not here right now, but he will join us supposedly this episode at some point.
He promised.
Yeah, he said so. You know,
And John would be really disappointed if he doesn't show
We
up.
video chatted and we pinky promised over the
That's why
airways.
I kept the closet open over there. Like, all right, let's see what happens. All right, before we get into our show,
So
quick.
we're going to wing it.
Yeah, we're gonna win. See what happens. Time to do our. Still getting over that cold, so if I sound really shitty, besides the
Normal.
like just a head, a little bit more nasally than I normally do. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's do the pluggies. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, mind yourselves. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all podcast platforms. You can watch us on YouTube or at semperhooah.com. You can follow us on Facebook at Semperhooah Podcast and IG at Semperhooah. Check out the merch at semperhooah.com/shop. You could support the show at semperhooah.com with a monthly subscription of choosing. All you got to do is click that support us button, and 50% of merch profits go to Tango 3. Sami.
Tango 3, with your help, they will support vetted organizational projects that help with veteran mental health issues, veteran suicide prevention, through the sale of Dove Creek Akashi Wagyu beef jerky.
It's so good.
It is. And don't forget to send the hate mail to contact@semperhooah.com. And since Petey's not here, we got this pre-recorded.
And as always, all views and opinions are not expressive of the DoD, any of its branches, or any military, government, or agency, organization.
Could have gotten a better one.
Yeah,
But it is.
Yeah, but it is. But it maybe is. Yeah.
How do you fuck up a recording? All right.
I just went from like
You literally could pull from 40 episodes.
I got lazy.
Just
I pulled it.
stitched out.
He pulled it from last week's
The
episode.
one, the last one he was on. I'm like, perfect. That's even he fucked up. He's
Nice.
like, I don't know. I'm like,
I've only said it 400 times.
let's roll with it.
Twice.
All right, let's get into some our quick current events, our headlines here. We're still talking about the Russian super duper special multi operation, and since Petey's not here yet, should we wait for him? No, we'll just do it. All right. So what's been happening? Let's see. Russia is reportedly trying to recruit former Afghan commandos to fight in Ukraine. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Wait a
pull
minute.
right
There
Yeah.
aren't all Afghan commandos. Are they talking about like
Taliban.
former coalition Afghan commandos
know.
Taliban?
who are now kind of like hiding in caves,
Maybe
scared?
some Terry Talibans. I don't know.
Or are they talking about Taliban commandos?
I don't know.
We saw their training video. It was pretty.
Because I thought the
it's pretty moving.
Russians and the Mujahideen hated each other.
Ski, look it up. All right. So, come on, damn, I gotta do work ready.
Hey, you didn't fucking tell me this.
Yeah, that mouse ain't just for looks there, bud.
Yeah. So let's address the elephant in the room on
What
that
am I
one.
looking up?
What's going on?
Iranian drones and Afghani commandos. Wow.
Iranian drones.
Yeah.
Dude, I just saw a video where they're like, these aren't even ballistic helmets. And the guy some Ukrainian guy was in the Russian trenches, grabbed their helmet and just started punching the shit out of this helmet, and the helmet just started caving in. And they're like, fucking idiots aren't even using real helmets.
I love that he's looking up Iranian drones right now instead of the Afghan commandos.
Afghan commandos. We know about the Iranian drones.
drones are more important.
Drones are more important.
Rock and roll, buddy.
It's
Rock
his
and
first
roll.
day on the job. It's all right.
No, it isn't.
He is God. It's cool.
Back there, yeah, it is.
God, come in,
so find
God.
out about the Afghan commandos that the Russians are trying to pick up. See what kind they are or whatever.
You know,
Let us if
at least we
find out.
recruit from our own
Good old
military for
Fox
that
News,
kind of
that's
shit.
what they say.
It's a good old Fox News.
The most reliable source on the internet.
Oh boy.
But while
Looks
you're
like
looking that up-
they're also conducting nuclear weapon drills.
Yeah, and so are we. I know that.
I mean, don't we
NATO,
always?
U.S. Yeah, but they're doing a lot more, I guess, because
We're
there's the
stepping
whole,
up the tempo.
There's some dirty bomb chatter that was going on.
Man,
Some
I'm
possible false
so-
flag stuff.
You know, I
I'm
was
so glad there's no more
there was a-
mean tweets.
Yeah, there was a point. There was a point in my life where I was just like, it's kind of nice knowing that we don't live under the threat of nuclear weapons anymore. And now,
Right? I mean, everybody forgot.
do you remember being?
We all forgot.
Do you
We
remember
thought
being-
gender pronouns were the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Turns out there's nukes. We forgot about.
we did.
And apparently, people are willing to use them.
Yeah,
And they're called crazy fucks.
at least one.
Yeah.
What do you
Now-
got, Ski? Hold on, Ski's got some.
Oh yeah, I was reading this and it's like this kind of made me chuckle. It says here that the Russian military started recruiting U.S. trained Afghanistan commandos.
Oh.
And it goes on to
Oh.
say these are the guys, the National Army Commando Corps, which fought alongside the U.S.
So, yeah, they're
when
talking
they
about
took
alliance, allied forces.
So these are the shittier kind of like fucking party guys.
So the guys that are below Army infantry.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
So they're not talking about the special warfare people that we trained over there, because they did have some fucking like crack commando units, Afghanis. Not very many, and most of them were fucking blown up by their own people. But
I'd say
they did have a decent amount.
I would have. I bet a lot of those guys just like dipped out of the country. Like,
Yeah,
"Fuck it,
they
I
were
can get
like-
a 6-figure job, man.
My name is Muhammad. Try and track at me. You can't.
What's your family name? Muhammad.
Yeah.
Another.
Damn it, he's just really religious.
Yeah.
Another plane slammed into another residential building. Second crash in less than a week.
Ooh.
Another I think it was an SU fighter. I'm not sure.
Was it really second
Second in a week.
and not taken down?
They're
These
having
were the
some-
same
these are
thing.
just-
These are
just
maintenance.
crash.
They're
into
having
the
some
residential
serious maintenance issues.
Are these pilots bailing out? Are we finding?
Yeah, yeah.
Or...
But the first one did. I don't know about the second one. Let's see if you can find the second crash.
Well,
Because let's see if they have working ejection seats.
So here's the thing. In the beginning, when all the Russian like armored columns and stuff, all the tanks and trucks and shit were breaking down because of like poor maintenance and all that stuff and like tire rot and all that shit.
because they were from 1948.
yeah, and hadn't been rotated or maintained.
Yep.
Is it that much of a stretch to think that their Air Force is in the same condition?
Well, dude, they're still flying the Bear, the Tu-95 or whatever, right?
Yeah, the one that sets off SOSUS warning nets.
I mean, it's literally the loudest airplane ever made.
yeah, it sets off the anti-submarine nets in the Atlantic.
I mean, the problem is all this shit and all this going on. Dude, when we were at war, it was awful. I don't think anybody that's been to war ever wants to go back to war or be in war. But our country, we handled 2 wars pretty okay.
Yeah.
We did pretty okay.
Yeah, the pullout on
You know
both
what I mean?
was pretty
If we
bad.
were not held back, we would have been okay. Russia's not being held back by anybody. They're going full force into Ukraine as hard as they can, and this is how shitty they're doing.
Yeah, they're
Why-
not.
How are they not? How are they not? What makes them taken so seriously on the international stage? Is it because they're just
Nukes.
such a large country, nukes, land, or I mean, I just don't understand. I'm like they're like a giant North Korea,
I'm gonna go with just nukes.
just
Yeah,
nukes.
just nukes.
Yeah, it turns out Russia is not just a paper tiger; it's a tissue paper tiger.
Yeah, I mean they're just. I mean they're at this point. When do they pull back and just go? Let's just hold on to what we have.
What do you got on that plane?
Which plane are you talking about?
The second one that crashed.
Not New Hampshire.
San Diego.
No, what the fuck?
What?
Are you-
A lot of fucking
The
plane
one in
crashes.
Ukraine.
No, in
Ukraine.
Russia. In Russia.
You said residential area.
Jesus Christ.
dude.
Are we
Jonesy,
talking-
we miss you already. It's been
Are we
like
talking
5
about
minutes.
New Hampshire?
Yeah, I can fill in for Jones.
You didn't fucking specify.
Hey, we love you,
you
buddy.
are so Polish.
If we're not busting your balls, we don't like you.
Yeah. God damn it, Ski. The second plane. All right. Get back to us when you can. We'll get some more on it. Let's see. That the war in Ukraine is draining Western munition stockpiles. That's a big one that's happening.
Shocker.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Draining a shitload of stuff here. You gonna try to find it?
My phone was vibrating. I was like, what is going on?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this as much as I want to like give support to the Ukrainians to just oust those damn Ruskies and shit like that, it comes to a point where it's like guys, we can't really like we can't drain our reserves on this.
Yeah.
You know.
We're already draining our reserves for election day.
Yeah. No shit. Right.
We can't afford to be
Although-
giving you all this
commercials,
shit.
man.
But you know what? I will say this. I do love the fact that they're talking about like the M777 howitzer, right? And they're like, "Oh, this is just such a badass piece of equipment." I'm like, "Yo, we've had that in the Marine Corps for like 15 years, man."
Yeah, but dude,
I know all about it.
this is like when you leave the U.S. for the first time.
Yeah.
When you're a young serviceman, you leave for the first time. You go to other countries that you hear about or you learn about in school and shit, and you get there and you go, "Holy fuck, home is so much better than this."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have any concept of that.
I really realized that when I was taking a shit in the middle of Fallujah when it was bombed out, and I'm like in a crater just taking a dump, and I'm like,
Even then, though,
"Yeah, home's pretty good."
yeah, home is pretty good, but I don't even know. I lost my train of thought.
You got
it
something
went,
to ski?
It went past the
We might.
station.
This might be-
Just kept driving.
Is that the first one?
It's the one hitter.
Yeah, it's the one.
Well, one was in
One hit?
Siberia. This one was
Better make it 3.
Better.
in territory outside of Ukraine, so not exactly in Ukraine.
No,
still
it's supposed to be
technically-
in Russia.
Russia.
Oh yeah, this isn't Russia.
Which would be territory outside of Ukraine.
yeah.
So it,
Geography.
Monday, yeah, fighter bomber crashed into a residential building. And
fighter bomber,
Yisk. I don't fucking know.
but we don't know what kind of aircraft it was.
Sounds like an SU-37.
Yeah, SU-34.
34.
I think it was the
There
second
you go.
34 that crashed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was.
SU-34.
Which
Yeah. So last week, the week before, was 34.
What's their new ones?
oh, I don't know.
That new.
The new, like the 5th generation.
It's
I can't remember.
It's
There's
like the
so many.
SU like 50 something, I think.
57.
Something like that. And then the SU-47 was an experimental model with the forward swept wings, but it never went into service.
Bring back the
Yeah.
MiG. Get that MiG-29 back.
Big
Love that thing.
29.
That's a piece of shit.
I love that thing.
It was great.
Kicked its ass all the time back in
Yeah.
Top Gun. Come on, man.
First of all, that was a MiG-28, and that was...
Was it 28?
Yeah, it was also an F-5
Oh, really?
that they were using as the MiG-28s.
Oh, wow, that sucks. One
But
other
in
thing-
Vietnam, we kicked their ass, and we didn't even have machine guns. We didn't even have guns on
At
our
first,
aircrafts.
At first, we did have...
F4 Phantom. What a badass hog of a plane, but
Yeah. It is still one of the fastest military jets ever made.
dude, have you ever seen one in person?
Oh, yeah.
They are
They're
enormous.
huge.
Fucking, and then you see like an F-35 or an F-22, and you're like, it's like a Corvette.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Okay.
a tiny little
I saw an
plane.
A-10 in person.
Speaking of that, bring up.
Yeah, A-10s are badass, but they're not huge.
No, they're small.
You look at like an F4 Phantom, and you're like, God dang.
It's like flying a school bus at Mach 2.
yeah.
Lockheed's new B-20 something bomber. Whatever. What's the new one called?
B-21.
B-21. Take a look at that thing. They're unveiling it, I guess, in December.
The B-21
Bomber. Yeah, it looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's,
not a bomber. I thought it was
believe
a fighter bomber.
Yeah.
No, 21.
Wait.
You're looking at B-2s, buddy.
This is B-21.
B-21.
isn't it?
Nope, B-21 right there.
Oh, is it a UAV?
That's not the image that they were showing
That
earlier.
doesn't look like a piloted bomber.
Look at Lockheed's new.
That kind of looks
Reveal.
like the one our government formally gave to Iranian.
'Cause I just saw a picture
Iran.
of like their.
Iranian.
Hey, Rain.
They've got an image-
Iran?
They've got one of it.
Iran? I can't remember.
Iran.
Is that how you
Iran?
pluralize?
Iran.
It's not Iranian, it's
Fucking
Iranian.
brain, get it together.
I thought it was Lockheed.
I
They're
usually talk to
great.
3 and
Yeah,
6 year
But
olds.
that's
That's what it is. It's a flying wing, and I believe it's a
It
drone.
looked different.
It's a drone, yeah. It's
Yeah.
not piloted.
It looked different though in the. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. Don't even bring it up. Fuck that. Shit. Looks the
That's
same.
why-
Looks
that's
the
why-
same as the other one.
Dude, electronic warfare.
Well, yeah, because the reason they're going with the flying wing design is because the flying wing inherently has stealth capabilities without having any of the extra coatings put on it.
Yeah.
Though the extra coating helps with radar deflection and diffraction, the actual flying wing design is inherently very, very stealthy. That's why the Germans were experimenting with it in World War II.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of the first, first wing designs to actually fly. Like,
Yeah.
like Leonardo da Vinci or something.
Yeah,
he
so
flew
the-
with like
the
that,
German-
just the wing.
The Germans, I believe, got one of their prototypes to fly, the HO-229.
I saw Captain America.
Yeah.
Big thing.
Yeah, no.
The problem was trying to control all the
Yeah.
different flaps and stuff.
Yeah.
Before computerization,
Without
it
fly-by-wire.
was very, very difficult.
like
which
an
is
old
why
vagina.
when the
well,
Americans
because
so many
your
flaps.
your engines are never running perfectly in
Yeah.
unison.
So when Lockheed
It's flight.
Lockheed in the 1940s experimented with it as well for a long-range strategic bomber for the U.S. Air Force with the B-47, and it was in service for a little bit of time, but then they decommissioned it in favor of other models. But it had to have like vertical stabilizers back then because again, technology.
But have we ever had one of those run into a residential building before?
No, never.
All right, on to the next topic.
We had,
Yeah.
we had an XB70 crash in the desert.
Getting back on the track, folks.
Yeah.
We are sorry.
It's all right. We're done with that one for now. Nothing new. Somebody got something else about Ukraine? Otherwise, no.
No.
I like Texas.
my neighbor. He is barely my asshole.
Okay, we're done with that one. All right. What's up next?
Ooh, I got this one.
Go.
Tejas pulls state
Tejas.
prison budget for Operation Lone Star funding.
That's Texas.
Yeah, for those of you not paying attention.
Whoa. Settle down there, ski with the mouse. I just saw like everything go white.
Not gonna touch.
You know what?
things
You
anymore.
touch that browser and that's it.
Tejas Governor Greg Abbott said that he and other state leaders are pulling $359.6 million out of the state prison system's budget to fund his Operation Lone Star border security operation through the next 10 months. Jesus Christ, that's an expensive price tag.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Thank you.
I think the budget was like actually 370, so they're saving like $10 million for prison, and that's
Dude,
it.
if you're going to pull it from anywhere,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
pull it from prisons. I mean, why not?
As long as it's not coming from the security budget of the prisons.
Yeah, but dude, prisons are so secure now with so little personnel that you don't really need a shitload of personnel
Honestly,
anymore.
I'd personally say we just hook up a bunch of cameras on a deserted island, drop all the prisoners out on there, and just let them fight it out. We make it
say-
Hunger Games and we televise it.
I say we just put lasers on Roombas and just let them released in there. And
Have
if
them play
somebody acts
Fortunate
up,
Son?
if somebody acts up,
Yeah.
you zap them.
Nah. All right. Have a taser. Fuck that. Fuck the laser. Just taser.
But there's something about lasers. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
cool.
on top of a shark's head.
I feel like this is the
I mean, that would be cool.
Simon Lancy show over here. What the hell's going on?
well, it's because you've been drinking.
Oh,
No, I'm just
hey.
wondering if you guys are just back and forth the whole time. Like, I know we haven't seen each other in a while. God damn.
I know. I missed. I missed
know.
all your faces. It's
U.S.
great.
Army will ditch old radios amid larger modernization juggle item.
Jugal.
Jugal. A little bit of a jugal there. A little bit of juggle. All right, the service currently juggling a half dozen major modernization goals is trying to find a balance between the communication upgrades it needs to make in preparation and for conflicts of the future, potentially against a technologically savvy enemy, China, and the related high costs of looming deadlines. So this is actually exciting for me being a reservist since I'm still using...
And calm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, but the reservist part's great because I'm using radios that are, how old are they? Like 25, 30, 40 years old.
So it's still
Yeah.
newer than the ones that Lancey and I were using.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, which was like, oh, cool, guys. Yeah.
We got it from the 1940s.
Yeah, it's...
Look, it's called a walkie-talkie.
You know when the Marines are donating it to you, it's pretty bad.
God damn it. So excited for that, comms-wise.
Hey,
and
we
just,
used
you
this
know,
in Desert Storm. It was pretty handy.
Technologically savvy enemy. You don't think they could be talking about the Russians?
No.
North Korea. It's clearly North Korea.
Clearly.
Bomber clearly crashed because of an engine failure. They're not technologically savvy.
Talking that
Also-
fucking microphone, or I'm going to kick you in the ass.
Also, I'm just going to point out.
You got to
one-
have it like the shaft pointed right at
Like,
you.
cup the balls.
I'm
There
also
you
Yeah,
go.
like right at the head.
Get
There
it.
you go.
I'm going to point out. It has to be North Korea because otherwise Hollywood would not have made the new Red Dawn with North Korea as the villain. I'm just saying. North Korea was technologically savvy to knock out all the technology in the Pacific
With Russia's
Northwest.
help. That's how the movie went, with Russia's help.
I feel like China
Yeah,
was
well,
involved.
they had Spetsnaz come in, yeah. Had to be the Russians.
Had to be.
Had to be that.
Had to be.
No.
All right.
God forbid it be the Chinese.
All soldiers are finally out of unlivable Fort Bragg barracks. Nearly 1,200 soldiers on the base have been relocated either to other barracks or off post into community residential housing.
So Salvation Army.
Wouldn't that just be the same shithole if it's on post?
No, they made them pitch pup tents out in the forward camps.
Army leaders decided that the 50-year-old barracks passed the point of economic diminishing return. Wait a minute.
There's economic
50
return on barracks.
Yeah.
50 years old. So this thing was built when, in the 70s? Or
Yeah.
early 70s, late
Yeah.
60s? 50 years? I feel like we should get long-term, better use out of buildings.
That's why we had the mold problems, the water problems, and then the, what was the last one we had?
And this is
before?
at
How do
Fort
they have all
Bragg,
these
right?
problems
carbon
made out-
monoxide.
How do they have all these problems
Whoa,
in
whoa,
a
whoa.
building made out of cinder block?
It's not for Bragg anymore. It's for Liberty now. Okay.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
they
really officially changed the
They're
name.
changing all the names, yeah.
Cocks,
There was a great
suckers,
meme, like an office
motherfuckers.
meme.
How confusing is that going to be when you watch an old movie now?
So
Where were you stationed? Fort Bragg. I don't even know where that is.
Yeah.
What?
What?
How do you not know where that is?
there's a great The Office meme. It has like Secretary Austin, like it's called Fort Bragg now, and it's got Mike Scott, you know, like with the beret on, going, I'm gonna call Fort Bragg even harder now. Even harder now. Oh. Anyway.
my God.
What?
So they basically put them up in apartment buildings.
Yeah, they're good.
Because
Poor Brad.
they suck and didn't know that this building was collapsing.
Also,
like
if they're worried about
zapping all over.
economic diminishing returns, do they have any idea what's going to happen to that apartment complex?
I don't know. A lot of barracks rats.
Barracks party.
Barracks rats for sure.
Do you
Something's
think they're going to
happen.
have duty sign in?
I saw a bunch of them at was it Fort Jackson when we were out there. Remember all those abandoned ones?
Aren't they changing that
Yeah.
name too?
Yeah,
There's
they were
a lot
like.
of them.
Oh, I think no. Jackson's still good, right?
Jackson's a pretty decent base, though. Yeah.
No, but the name though, I don't. They're not changing. The
No,
name.
no, no.
I don't
Oh,
think it was on
The
list.
problem
They're not
is,
changing all
well,
the
he's named after Andrew Jackson, right?
I think so.
Then
Problem
they
is
he did a lot of sketchy things.
do we know when base housing? Like, when did the military start housing families on base? Has that always been a thing?
I'm going to ask
or
you to
when
look it
did-
up, but I don't think it's going to do a good job. So
Because
let's see what
this
happens.
is what I'm
Let's see
thinking.
We'll see what happens.
This is what I'm thinking. The economics of it. If this was all built right after World War II, basically, right? I mean,
A lot of it.
a lot of it was
Some
We didn't
within
have much
20
from military
years
before
after
World
that.
War II.
So it built all up. So now we're gonna have to be replacing all this shit. I mean, what is the economics of replacing?
everything's going green now.
Well,
But I mean, building all new housing for.
Here's the thing, they
I mean,
could-
Pendleton has a huge amount of housing.
But they
on
could
it.
do a lot with base housing and ensuring that it stays like properly maintained and
Yeah.
up to code if they field date everyone's house.
The problem is there's a lot of nasty fucks out there.
Exactly, that's my point. Because like I knew a lot of guys that lived on base housing and their houses were just atrocious.
Trashed.
Yeah, and disgusting and dirty and not clean and stuff like that. And I'm like, and yet I have to do this
Yeah.
every Thursday night while you get to sit here, fuck off, and watch and play video games.
That was the best part about living off base. I never had field day.
How the fuck did you swing that?
But my house was I was married. So I lived down in Pacific Beach.
You were married while you were in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember my ex-wife stole all my money when I was in Iraq?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's how that goes.
Shout out, what's up?
You had me at TRICARE.
Should have been there for that episode. No, that would have fit in real nice. You got something on privatized
I think he
housing?
did watch that movie.
Yeah, look. I mean, kind of reading through it, looks like there was a lot of problems, but they started doing family housing as late as the 1940s to post World War II.
Okay, so that's when it happened. It was all.
Yeah, and
It
then they
was all-
started
yeah.
like working out the kinks.
Because the military
As
was
they go
so
They're still working out the
big.
kinks.
Yeah.
And we decided
But I mean,
to
what
keep
it-
it big.
How yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the budget for just even keeping house base like on base housing up and running. I mean, it's got to be a huge fucking budget.
Well, I know for 29 Palms,
I mean-
at least the landscaping budget's really low.
Yeah, it's just rocks
Yeah.
and dirt.
Speaking of things for your house, who wants the next one?
I'll take it. Military
Take it.
exchanges team up with Home Depot to sell deliver appliances. Military exchange customers shopping for major appliances such as refrigerators, washers, dryers will have more options to include improved delivery and installation services through a new partnership with the Home Depot and exchange officials. The plan is to launch by spring of 2023.
So now,
and yes, I know it's pronounced Depot.
yeah, Depot.
Do you know why that is? Because the box stores have stolen everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone works for the fucking box store. Dude, try and get carpet installed in your house. You can't do it?
Yeah. Also, Sears. The box stores destroyed Sears, the original box store.
So if you didn't know
Also,
this,
bad management and buying Kmart
you guys,
destroyed Sears.
is it only Home Depot's is only their discount is for active and reservists, right? They don't have a VA one.
No, they do. They have a veteran
one.
They have a
Okay.
But
veteran.
dude, Lowe's used to have the best.
They still do it.
Now it's fucked.
Well, I still get
I-
10%.
Not on everything though.
Yeah, everything.
On no. If you go there recently, they changed their policy within like the last probably 2 months maybe.
Supply chain probably.
And they cut back the savings. So now if like you find an item and it's like the last of that item, you don't get.
Oh, okay.
Or if like you're buying a major appliance, they don't give you any
Well,
percentage off.
that's what Home Depot did, and now that they cut it down to $400 a year is your max.
Oh yeah.
discount.
Oh shit, I probably got all the discount then.
Yeah, and maxed it out. But now,
I maxed that bitch
now
out.
this whole new thing is because appliances didn't cover it didn't cover appliances. Now
Yeah.
through this exchange through AFES thing, now you
Oh,
can order
yeah.
shit, you'll get your discount on, and they'll deliver your shit through there, which is nice.
But do you have to be by base?
no,
to do
as
that
long
or
as
no?
you're you can do online AFES shopping and you're near Home Depot or
Holy shit.
that's all you gotta do. Home Depot will deliver to you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That'll be
that
pretty
is.
cool.
That's-
Home Depot will
yeah.
see a big boost from that. That'll be
Honestly, I see a lot of guys who buy houses outside of base and flip them when
Mm-hmm.
they go to a new duty station. I can see this being like something that they're gonna really take advantage of.
I like this as a reservist too,
Which is
like
smart.
Or if you're a National Guard, like somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you're nowhere near a base, like anywhere where there
Yeah.
actually is an AFES or an
Yep.
X, all that kind of shit, and you want to go buy appliance, but you have a Home Depot there, but you can just do it online, and it just boom, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
so
get
that
rid of it, so-
the guy in
Simplifies it.
I-9
Yeah.
duty and up in the North Pole and shit will be able to get his shit installed, huh?
Yeah.
The North Pole's a real place. I served with a guy from there.
I believe
North Pole, Alaska. Swear to God.
Why do you think I said it?
Yeah.
You both been on ships, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of you read this
Oh,
one. It's gross.
Bilgewater.
We've both been on the Bonhomme Richard.
Yeah, Boham Richards.
Big Dick Richard.
Handsome man Richard.
Bilgewater got into the USS Abraham Lincoln's drinking water. That can't be good.
That is
The
disgusting.
fouling of the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln's drinking water late last month was caused by a bilge water leaking into the ship's potable water tanks.
Why are they next to each other?
Why? Well,
Water
let's
is
think
water.
about it some. There's a playpen next to it, okay.
True.
You don't want to drink bilge water,
They're
it
both
turns out.
playpens.
It's a melange of fresh water,
Melange.
or oil, chemicals, sludge, seawater, and other unpotable fluids that accrue in the lowest space on a ship. Being in the, there's ships bring in lots and lots of seawater and lots of oil and shit leaking from the engines and
Yeah. Everything's
nasty
dripping
down there.
to the bottom of the ship. Right?
Also,
Yeah,
let's keep in mind the Abraham Lincoln is a nuclear carrier too.
dude, you're talking about 5,000 people ship.
plus
Yep.
semen. It's a lot
Lots of semen.
That's a small town.
Lots of guys
at
jerk
sea.
off in the shaft room. You know what I mean?
That's why they call it the shaft room.
That's right. Did you ever go down to your shaft room?
No.
Dude,
Tell me more about this shaft room.
Best place to hide during field day.
Discuss more about this,
Well,
shaft.
There's this random.
No,
in
the
my-
best
on
place
my
to hide
ship-
during field day was
Yeah.
inside my vehicle because no one could see in.
Oh, I didn't
'cause
have
you're
a
in a
vehicle
mule,
because I wasn't a POG.
Yeah.
Oh, shots fired.
Can't help it if I chose the right profession.
God damn it. How's that working out, Sam?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. You driving many tanks nowadays?
Not really.
I think it turned out that what you were driving was not a tank.
I learned mechanical skills
Mechanical skills.
that I don't use at all for my job.
You learned an actual skill, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, I did. I did. Whether or not I'm proficient at it anymore leaves a lot
Are
to
you
be
son-
desired. But
How often do you clear your house? I mean, I do
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
I come home, come home, first thing I do,
Clear it,
and that's after I come home from work,
which is at the same.
which is at the same building.
Yeah.
Same building, yeah. You can literally see if someone walks into your
See,
house.
the whole military life never really left him. He's like, yeah, I'll live here at work. It's great. Really?
Closest thing I'll ever get to working from home in my profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
How does that happen, though? How does a bilge water, which is literally
I was gonna say, how's a man his age live at a bar?
I'm like, do you remember the conversation we had in the garage?
I can't understand how
Stir
a
some
bilge
change.
water pump leaks into the potable water.
Yeah, like
How is there no cap on the potable water tank?
Yeah.
Like, what is going
I think
on?
that there are bigger issues at stake here than just the fact that it got in.
I mean-
that it got there.
This is bigger than a cruise ship.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so they probably have, 8-inch pipe freaking bilge pumps? I mean, giant bilge pumps.
Well, I would imagine the U.S. military would not want a nuclear reactor to sink to the bottom of the ocean.
who was
so
the
yes.
firand one to complain about the foul water? That's what I want to know. Was it like, this drinking fountain's gone bad?
Feel bad.
And then they waited until it became like a petty officer, second class, or something.
And
before
were
took note.
were they at sea when this happened?
I don't know.
Dude, if they were at sea and this
I think
happened,
that- I think
how do
that-
you
Ski,
having
you
no
wanna try looking
pot-
it up?
I mean, I know they have.
I think they
What are you
were.
talking about?
I think they were at dock. I think they were. I think they were in dock. Actually,
they were in port.
I think they were in port. Yeah.
Well, I
Port,
mean,
yeah.
if that's fine, but
It's still bad. It doesn't matter.
it's bad. But it's not as bad as if you were out
Out
at
at
sea.
sea,
Because
right.
if you're out at sea,
there's not really much you can do to repair.
and let's say that potable water tank supplies the kitchen,
Yeah.
you're fucked
Shit
because
water in your
they
stew.
literally steam cook everything.
At
So
least,
it's like-
at least if you're in port, though, they can just send you to the chow hall on base or something like
and,
that,
Yeah.
or get you pizzas. Have a
Crazy.
pizza party.
What do you got, Ski?
It's Lincoln sailors first noted in
Some
the
paywall.
advertisement.
Goddamn paywalls.
Noted
pay them.
nasty drinking water on September 21st while the ship was operating off of California. So they probably were.
Oh, so they were just
off
doing
the
like
coast.
they were doing
They were
like
probably-
drills.
Yeah.
Littoral
like,
shit.
all right.
Sea
I
trials,
saw the
probably.
water and it's like, all right, let's go back.
Yeah.
Littoral.
go
See, I speak you.
Nobody put the cap on the fucking water tank.
I learned that
I
word.
bet that's what it was.
I learned that word on this show, by the way.
That's what that cap was for.
And we found that. Remember the parts we had extra of?
That water supply specialist was kicking himself in the ass going, God, water supply sucks. What a bullshit job. And then he forgot to put the cap on.
They are so NJPing me for this.
Yeah, I'm so fucked.
I just cost $500,000.
Oh, sad news.
No, they'll probably just talk about how he feels about it. He or she or them.
Yeah, and then they're going to get NJP'd. 2 years later,
Yep.
they're going to get forgiven, just like the kid from BHR.
Sad news. Former Defense Secretary Ash Carter dies.
Who?
Oh. Heart attack. He was the SecDef.
Ash Carter was for, who was that for? For Obama.
That's what I think so. Former.
Oh, yeah.
It was
So
Obama.
not when I was in, so I don't care.
Okay, he died at 68. Blah,
That's
blah,
sad.
blah.
68. That's too
That's
young,
young.
man.
Yeah, he was during Obama. He served from 2015 to 2017.
Yeah.
2 years.
When did he serve in the military?
Wasn't he
He
the one that was
didn't-
also
Yeah, then I don't care.
enlisted?
He enlisted?
Was he enlisted first before, or he was? Which one was the one that was only? It was the only SecDef that was an enlisted man, not an officer. Was that him?
Teddy Roosevelt. I'm going to go with Teddy Roosevelt.
No, that was like
Roosevelt.
recent.
He's definitely an officer. He had the money.
Teddy Roosevelt.
He had the
I'm
money
gonna
to
go
buy
with
the
that.
position.
Let's see here.
What do you got, bud?
We're pulling this shit up.
Pull it up.
Aren't most SecDefs
Oh, shit.
not even serving the military? That's why they're
No,
so
they're
fucking low.
political appointees.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of them have military background.
Yeah,
A
majority
lot of
do.
them, I mean, yeah, if a president's good, they pick a guy that does that.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are,
Not good.
Yeah.
they pick it's politically.
Yeah, shouldn't be.
Wiki his ass. Jesus Christ, I would have.
That's why it came out that, freaking the anointed
served.
one,
He didn't
Mattis.
serve. He didn't
They
serve at
came
all.
out,
Trying
Mattis
to look it up,
got
can't
so
find it.
pissed that him and Trump got into it
Wikipedia,
because
there we
Trump
go.
was like, I want to pull us out of every fucking war. I don't want to be in any wars. And military-industrial complex and Mattis, unfortunately, is a part of it. They fucking fought back against them, and that's how Mattis exited
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
No.
It's all like coming out now, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, man?
yeah. Well, I mean, I applaud Mattis for sticking to his guns and everything like that, but at the same time, literally,
The dude is a warrior.
Yeah.
Like, if he's not going to war, he's not happy.
yeah,
And that's what his life is.
yeah. But Trump is totally right to pull us out of those wars.
Yeah, so that we could be ready for all these new wars.
Yeah, exactly. That other country started for once.
So Carter didn't serve. Or Ash Carter didn't
At
serve.
all,
Yeah,
right? He
Yeah,
was just
so
a political
he can
appointee.
stroke off. He's a political appointee. Fuck him.
Yeah,
He
I
can't
didn't-
anymore. He's dead, for God's sakes.
Yeah, well, in the
Can't
afterlife.
stroke anything.
Eh,
Oh, here we go. This is the first. Chuck Hagel was the only first enlisted combat veteran to serve.
He was a Marine, right?
I believe he was.
Vietnam vets.
Speak up, you fuck. No one can hear you.
I'm fucking.
This-
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Former Navy Captain Astronaut Scott Kelly joins the new UFO study. Ooh. A group of 16 researchers.
Because he's a sighter, right? He saw one.
Including retired U.S. Navy
think
captain
so.
and astronaut Scott Kelly will spend the next 9 months on a NASA team to studying UFOs.
Oh,
I think
fun.
Scott Kelly, though, is like one of the most famous
Yeah.
people to come out and say, we saw something
Speaking
crazy.
of which, Netflix has got a pretty awesome 6-part documentary series about
was
this.
it him
actually.
or his twin brother that was the one that, because they both are astronauts, or was up in space for the whole year, or not year, like
it was
a long
him.
time. Was
It was him. Yeah, he
was
came
him.
back and he like couldn't walk and shit.
Was it Scott or what's his brother's name?
Yeah, because your muscles and your
because
atrophy.
they're twin brothers, so you couldn't even fucking tell.
Oh, really?
yeah. One,
I just remember Kelly.
One's married to
A congressman or
the
something
guy
that got
one that
shot.
shot in the fucking face, and then in the face.
Mark
And
Kelly.
Mark Kelly's which one's
Mark Kelly.
that?
That
He's the one that one.
Yeah, he's the one married to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
U.S. Navy captain too.
I believe the reason that they sent one of them up for a year was to actually study the effects on both of them.
Yeah, it
To
was
compare.
exactly compare both.
Oh,
of them.
yeah, because they're twins.
Which means their DNA is relatively the same.
Which one's got the hot wife? Is it Scott then?
It's got to be. The other one's in a
Wheelchair.
No, she can
with
walk.
a hole in her
She can
face.
walk.
Like,
got a hole in her face.
She can walk.
No, yeah.
You know, and the only thing that she really can remember after that is gone bad.
I remember that.
well, when he was shot in the face.
I
yeah.
actually can't remember that. So
I don't
thought you
remember
wish you had
him.
an
I
arm
just remember
bodyguard.
the barrel.
at that
That's all I
time,
remember.
like my cousin was like living here right before this all happened, and I sold him some of my guns legally. You know, we did through the whole process and all that. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going back to Arizona." And like 2
Yeah.
days later, all of a sudden she got shot. I'm like, "Oh fuck! Please don't tell me that's my gun that killed that
Oh,
or almost
goddamn
killed
it.
that woman." I was like freaking out. I'm like,
Call him up.
"Oh,
You're like, what'd you
man."
do,
Like,
you motherfucker?
You are the psycho in the family. Like, oh my.
Oh, I remember that one.
You remember that one? Yeah.
That's the one you sold your Sega to.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Sega 12.
Sega
Those are
12.
bad,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Sega.
Why'd you sell it?
I don't know. I was like,
Sega.
they were cheap back then. They were $600 a pop. Now they're like $1,200 plus.
Should've
Yeah.
held on to it.
I know.
Inflation's a real bitch.
No, that was before inflation. That was just, they just got popular as
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, what a surprise! Automatic magazine felt shotgun
I had the drum
on an
for it,
AK
too.
platform.
Can't believe it'd become popular.
Had the drum. I actually put the pistol grip on that one. The collapsible stock. It was pretty cool.
I want to
Check it
get
out.
one of the ones they build up in Canada, those AR platform 12 gauge shotguns.
Canadian.
Yeah, they make them up in Canada.
Yeah.
There's some company up there that does
I want
it, but
that,
they are fucking bad.
I want that pump action from the first John Wick with the two underbarrel magazines.
Oh, that KSG.
The KSG,
Oh,
the Caltech.
yeah.
Oh, I want one of those so bad.
Dude, Caltech, they do it right, though. They're like, we found and we made a badass product,
Yeah.
but we're only going to make 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And like once they're done building them, they're like, yep, we don't give a shit
They
about
also
any of
they
you.
also make
Like,
that they also make that multi-caliber like survival rifle too.
Dude, they make some great guns, but getting them
They're
can be hard as fuck.
yeah, but they come up with these weird ass concepts.
Yeah.
And it's like this is such a great idea. Why didn't anyone think of this?
And they don't have like a giant catalog, but
No.
the things that they do very well.
Yeah,
Like their little 22 caliber pistol.
Yeah, that one.
What is that? PMR 30, I think it's called. Holds 30 rounds
Oh yeah, that
of 22 long rifle. Dude, that's a crazy pistol.
Let's go look it up. Let's see what happens.
On to the next topic.
Well, I'll find it one day. Here, you found it, right? Blow it up. Click on the image first.
Yeah, PMR 30.
Gonna walk them through it.
Dude, that gun
Yeah,
is
full image,
so
full size.
fun to shoot.
Also,
and it's a
yeah.
great training gun because it jams a lot.
and you can also tell you can tell also most Caltech guns because they all have like that waffle pattern at some point.
That's like their
That's like
their
their
signature
thing,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Mold injected, man. Mold injected.
Speaking of, well, that doesn't make sense. All right,
Made total sense.
military schools. All right.
Military schools students lead nation in post-pandemic scores. I was going to say,
figure, right?
I almost said post-traumatic scores.
Post-traumatic scores.
Anyway,
Daddy came back from the range today. God damn it! Fucking freaking out.
Oh my god.
Anyway, the military school system, which continued to focus on in-person learning while navigating the worldwide COVID pandemic, now leads the nation in reading and math scores for 4th and 8th graders.
Who
Just
knew?
those-
Wow.
Who knew?
Shocker.
America's morons are producing fucking great
honestly,
children.
just those two grades, though.
Yeah, because those are the two grades where they actually test you.
Yeah.
And those are like the two that show that a child's brain is actually like learning and functioning at different levels. They can't test you at 4th and 5th because your brains are so close. It doesn't really give you a...
Yeah. Yeah. What a surprise that an organization that makes you, I don't know, like form up every day, march and drill, you're away from your parents, you live in a barracks, you're kind of given some level of autonomy to make sure you do everything right. And what a surprise that's going to instill, like, I don't know, maybe you'll study.
I just think that, fucking in-person... I know all the school systems around here, every single school system has failed. Yeah. Their fucking testing.
Did they
Which
show
is
the
why I'm so glad I'm homeschooling my kids.
what was the
They're smart as shit.
Yeah, the average scores of students in Department of Defense education activity schools range from 15 to 23 points higher than the national average
Dude, that's
scores on the
huge.
2022 National Assessment of Educational Progress Reading and Math Assessments. Their scores either increased or held steady even as the scores of their public school counterparts across the U.S. decreased from 2019 pre-pandemic levels.
goddamn?
And what a surprise. Shutting down the entire country is a detriment to education.
Well, it also turns out that
Let's follow the science.
Let's also say if you don't have to do anything and you still get a diploma, amazingly, kids aren't going to do shit.
Yeah, shocker.
Hey, don't worry, guys. You'll all get diplomas at the end of the year. It doesn't matter if you try or not. Okay, I'm going to not try.
Yep. That's why places I've worked at with like big tip pools and stuff, you always find like that one person that sits at the bar and just talks to two people the entire time, does no work, and gets an equal share.
Yeah.
America.
And inevitably, these are the ones that say, I'm a socialist. No shit.
Turns out women are unloading their hatred for military men on an army TikToker.
Oh, on a TikToker?
A TikTok video reveals the downfalls of dating military personnel or perks, TRICARE, depending on how you look at them. User Rickologist posted a video of a semi-uniformed soldier dancing to music and pointing at the text. Girls want military guys until they realize. And then bullet points included: he dates with intentions to marry, works 12-plus hour workdays, and sleeps on weekends, acts broke, and has great health benefits. He's still finalizing his divorce. While only 13 seconds in length, the video had over 53,000 likes, 3,000 comments, and was shared 2,500 times.
Why are they unloading on him? He is actually just like,
just
he's
wait.
telling the truth.
Yeah. There's more.
The-
There's
the
their
co-
truth, though.
The
Ready?
comments from women were rather scathing. Many were quick to give their opinions of men in the military and their experiences with them. They always be married and act divorced. I know.
First of all,
exactly the type of
contract-
woman that said that shit.
Contract marriages don't count.
Keep going.
And the ability to abandon anyone that didn't serve with them. Added another.
Yeah.
Others noted the soldier's rather Spartan backdrop, with one user asking, "Did she take all the furniture except the coffee table?"
No, that's all he could afford.
If you're in the military and you got any kind of Dodge Charger, ladies, don't do it. Dodge Charger. That's fucking great.
With 25% interest.
With 30-inch rims. Another implied military men cheat while they are deployed, despite the stigma normally being associated with military spouses. Mess around every deployment. You forgot that. Rebecca Wallace wrote, "I'm divorcing mine. He gave me emotional damage."
Emotional damage.
And girl, the military don't help us with our PTSD from being associated with their soldiers. Another user said in response to Rebecca's statement, the comments continued in the thousands with their almost endless reasons on why they despise military men. Out of all of them, only one woman seemed to find a silver lining.
Just the one.
She replied to a woman who said the benefits associated with military marriage are not worth it by saying, "They might be. Tricare be bussin'. They pay for everything."
Tricare be busted.
That's a fucking great story, and I'm really happy I got to read it.
Why didn't this come out when we covered that fucking god-awful movie?
Tricare be busted.
Tricare be bussin'. They pay for everything but second opinions. Which is what I found out this week.
All right, Sami, you got this one. 100% this is all you.
New Marine Corps recruiting ad, still not as cool as the Lava Monster. No shit.
Dude, that lava monster.
Love some-
That's the reason why I joined.
Yeah, same.
Don't worry.
The sword, Lava Monster, sold.
Still waiting on my sword.
Still waiting on fighting the Lava Monster.
Just fucking read the goddamn article. Fucking at, because I'm gonna tell you, I got videos for a lot of shit on this. So
All right.
just
In 1998, a Marine Corps recruiting ad during peacetime tricked dumbasses into believing if you fought and beat a lava monster, you would have what it takes to become a Marine. Fair.
Yes.
I thought that was the main challenge at the end of the Crucible. Anyway.
Oh my god.
But the threats shown in the Corps' 2022 recruiting ad are different. With a new commercial featuring an evacuation, a swarm of drones, and precision fires, the Corps is making a statement about what it sees the future of conflict. The video highlights elements of the Marines Leadership Force Design 2030 initiative, which seeks to shift the branch's focus more toward littoral operations and reconnaissance instead of land warfare. That's why we got rid of the littoral combat ship, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The ad comes not even a month into the new fiscal year, amid recruiting challenges for the military, thanks to high retention in fiscal year 2022. That meant it required fewer new troops, so the Marine Corps was the only branch other than the Space Force to meet its recent accession goals. But it didn't meet them by much.
all right. So I got the new ad up. Let's
See-
let's see this shit.
This is why the Marines don't give bonuses for initially enlisting. We do it after we've got you.
Because it's our we use it for advertising.
No. We use it to keep you in.
Oh,
new ad. Here we go.
The future is threatened
Oh, look at this.
by enemies often
Ooh,
unrelenting,
ospreys. It's hot.
unexpected, and unpredictable.
what's happening to all those houses?
I don't know.
They're sinking into the earth.
Do the Russians have a weapon that
In the
disintegrates
midst
buildings
of an
now?
uncertain and evolving world,
Crones that
the
turn
need
into
for
drones.
Marines to
Jesus
defeat
Christ.
these
What
shifting
the
threats
fuck?
is critical,
It's got to be Chinese or something.
because the need to ensure stability for our nation has
Is this the
never
new Call of
been
Duty
greater.
ad?
Right? Looks like it.
Dude, they have so much cool shit.
Yeah.
Wait, we have winter digis now?
No, not for everyone.
Oh, get ready. Here comes the F-35.
Wait a minute, was that ship just a submarine?
Yeah, it was.
Future.
It's about to crash.
There is
Oh,
one
no, all right.
Marines.
The few, the
proud.
All right, and your lava monster.
Where
I
the
got
fuck is
for
the
you.
lava monster?
There it is. It's low res though. Real low res.
Look at this, man. It was a fucking arena too, man.
Dude. Yeah.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
It's go time, bitch. Let's do this shit.
Here he goes, running down.
Fight the screw.
He's like, obstacle course? Fuck that. I got right through that shit.
Same music.
This is our actual obstacle course.
It is.
It is more than a trial by fire.
Yes.
It is a rite of passage,
Oh yeah. Wow.
a challenge to join the elite. And
The
if
Army
you
Rangers.
succeed,
I mean Marine Corps.
if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield, even to yourself, you will be changed forever.
This part I always like though.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That part was pretty cool.
Makes your dick hard, right?
Dude, that's a straight moto boner.
Yeah, the end scene where he
becomes
transforms,
lieutenant.
Like,
But he's got a sword.
yeah, sweet saber.
It's a Marmaluke.
Okay.
It's a Marmaluke. If it's an
Whatever.
officer's sword.
Okay,
I mean,
Saber for the enlisted.
they look the same.
They're totally.
are we an
different swords.
evacuation force? I mean, I feel like maybe not.
No, we're a pullout force at this point.
Well, you guys are horrible at that too.
Yeah, a lot of my
Twice. It happened twice.
How many
okay?
kids you have? Well, that you know of. I mean, he's got like a farm going on over there.
Yeah. Plus, your girl lived 2,000 miles away. How are you going to impregnate her?
We're not going to discuss that.
All right. So the new ad wasn't that great, huh? You didn't like it?
I don't know. Then
God, the disintegrating buildings. Like, what kind of
Well, I
technology?
think they're
are we
just
fighting?
trying to show the whole like changing over the scenes.
Oh, the changing battlefield.
battlefield is changing. You know?
true, we
Why,
should
why don't
be
they just show what we did to Fallujah?
because we shouldn't
It
have
did
ever been in
disintegrate.
Fallujah.
Fair.
It did
It's not
disintegrate though.
It's more than 75 miles inland. We should have never been.
a lot of 7.62 rounds cutting down shit.
Our mission statement is 75 miles inland. Army, take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we established the beachhead. Once the army is pushed forward,
Stagger it.
we set up the tiki bar on the beach and wait for pickup.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're supposed to do.
The thing is, I was watching a lot of World War II Pacific shit the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. I started watching some Army ones I haven't seen in like or ever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like looking at it like, man, I'm kind of glad we didn't do all this shit. I'm glad you boys did. Because goddamn, that sucked. Like
Yeah.
all the way through those islands.
Oh, dude. Island hopping campaign was, and that's what they're
Also,
gearing up for now.
Yeah, I
Those
watched Pacific
islands
too,
weren't
just like-
75 miles deep, so we definitely had to take the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Fucking-
the ad is no go on your side?
I mean, it's cool because it's like cool
It's
sci-fi.
technology. It's technology we're not going to get for another 30 years after the army hands it
yeah.
down.
I
to
think
us.
Duffel Blog actually today came out with ones like Marine Corps is getting computers.
I saw that when I was taking a
by
shit.
2030, Marine Corps will have computers.
but they won't be able to get batteries.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Why do you think we were all confused with cat cards?
Yeah. What the hell is this thing?
What's this thing?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
What's this chip on here? I don't know.
What is this little gold thing?
Yeah, I don't know what it does.
We didn't even know it was a chip.
We had those, but I never called ours cat cards.
Well, that's what they are. I never
I
called
know,
it that
I never
either. I
called
said
it-
an ID card.
Yeah, you got your ID card? I was like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
got my picture on it.
It's
I
right
think
here.
that's what that is.
Left breast pocket, right?
Yeah.
Look, it's still got the sticker of what ship I'm on.
Yeah.
Just in case I'm a little too drunk.
The USS Duluth.
USS Rushmore.
sticker. It's like a cruise ship. They can make sure they stand. They put it on your ID as you go off.
No bullshit they do, and that's color coded.
I bet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys are so retarded.
You have to. You have to, yeah. Well, what if you get killed? They got to find out where the fuck you are.
You got to find where all your gear's still.
Yeah.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
All right. You know what? We're sticking with you guys this whole goddamn show. Might
Go ahead,
as well go more.
No.
It's daddy.
Take it, OG.
I
No, fuck
remember.
that. It's
I
throwback.
remember.
It's
I
good.
remember actually seeing a couple of videos about this. This is pretty good.
All right.
Throwback. So this is almost like when Pepsi was giving away the Harrier, But throwback when Pepsi had the 6th largest navy.
What the fuck?
Hey, let's just be excited that he's reading the title and he's on the right page.
Yeah.
Okay, unlike last episode.
He hasn't messed up Elixir yet?
Yeah.
Little victories, all right? Yeah. Just before the fall of the Soviet Union, the communist state was so desperate for Pepsi that they traded the American beverage company some 20 warships for a shipment of their sugary elixir, making the Pepsi Navy the 6th largest in the world at the time.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. In 1959, just 2 years after the first intercontinental ballistic missile test forced both U.S. and Soviet Union to reassess their approach to nuclear deterrence, then Vice President Richard Nixon and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev both attended the American National Exhibition in Moscow's Sokolinki.
I would have fucked that up too.
Yeah. Learn to spell Russia. As the two men exchanged barbs about the efficacy of each nation's respective economic model, head of Pepsi International Donald Kendall decided to break the ice with a few small cups of their namesake soda. As luck would have it, the Soviet premier was immediately smitten by the sugary carbonated drink, and a deal was struck for the Soviets to begin receiving shipments of the beverage. Pepsi had secured the first such agreement between a capitalist American company and the communist Soviet Union, but there was one serious problem. Soviet money was effectively useless outside of the nation's borders.
Yeah.
You take these Venezuelan francs?
It's called the Bolivar.
Whatever. Nobody cares. It's worthless.
It's named after freedom fighter Simon Bolivar.
Go on.
Anyway, but while the Soviets may have lacked hard currency, they did have something else to trade: vodka. So Pepsi and Khrushchev made a deal. Pepsi would provide shipments of soft drinks, and in return, the Soviet Union would provide vodka from their state-owned brand Stolichnya.
Stoli.
For
Nia.
resale in the United States.
Stoli.
For a bit less than a decade, the agreement between the Soviet Union and Pepsi stood without any issue. But in 1980, geopolitics around soured the deal. The Soviet Union had invaded Afghanistan. The American people responded by boycotting Soviet-sourced products, including Stolichnya vodka. Pepsi was getting in trade for their soda. Within a few years, Stolichnya sales had dropped enough for Pepsi to no longer consider the deal worthwhile.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
Well, it's economics, man. But the Soviet Union's love for America's second-tier cola was RC is clearly on the second tier.
Coke
right?
is number one.
Yeah, well, I mean, sales.
Sales-wise.
Anyway,
I don't want
better
your
marketing.
Nazi Coke.
Nazi Coke.
That was Fanta.
That was fun. Yeah. It was fun, though.
But for the Soviet Union's love for America's second-tier cola was too strong to let the deal lapse. The Soviet officials began looking for other ways to reimburse Pepsi for shipments of the soda. By 1989, they had a solution. In exchange for Pepsi soft drinks, the Soviets offered them a veritable navy. Pepsi agreed to the deal, taking possession of a Soviet cruiser, a frigate, a destroyer, 17 submarines, and a handful of oil tankers, instantly making the drink distributor the owner of the 6th largest navy on the planet.
It's fucking insane.
What really gets me is that Pepsi did not use this to sabotage international shipments to Coke.
Right?
Oh my God.
I think you find out why, though.
Right. But despite that,
Fuck.
Crazy, right?
I am so...
this is so real, though.
It's so real. Mind blown. That's why I read it. I was like, oh, yeah.
So there's
17 submarines.
I saw this on a YouTube channel called Today I Found Out. It was like one of the funniest stories they've ever done. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
All right. But despite that significant bragging point, the newly established Pepsi Navy was far from battle ready. The fleet of submarines was in terrible state of disrepair, with many listing to one side and nearly all of them showing signs of serious rust.
Typical.
The surface ships in Pepsi's new Navy weren't in much better shape, with perhaps only one that was truly seaworthy and at least one other that required constant pumping to keep afloat. Sounds familiar.
Oh my God.
Nonetheless, the United States government wasn't particularly pleased to see a corporation suddenly command enough naval firepower to square off with some entire nation.
That's pretty awesome.
Pepsi CEO Donald Kendall, who had first introduced Khrushchev to the beverage, responded to America's complaints with all the aplomb.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's a new one on me.
I gotta look it
One might expect from the admiral of Pepsi's Navy reminding the Pentagon that he had just managed to reduce the number of ships in the Soviets' disposal by a considerable number.
This is great.
Yeah,
Great
except
quote.
for the fact they weren't working.
Great quote, though.
I'm dismantling the Soviet Union faster than you are.
That's pretty good, dude, right? That's pretty good.
Fucking brilliant. The guy, that's a G move right there.
Self-confident assurance. That's what a plumb means.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Math for Marines.
I was waiting for Jonesy to do it, but
He's just a temp.
I'm
a backup.
I submitted tickets.
Submit a
I'll
ticket.
do it. All
Submit a
right?
ticket. I'm not doing anything extra.
oh my! Did they give him out as bonuses? You know what I mean? Like your bonus this year is a
Here's a
1957 Soviet submarine.
What do you want? A frigate destroyer? You planning on retiring and linking up with old Pablo down in Colombia? I got a sub for you for that.
Imagine the Russian admiral that was probably down there in that fleet saying, "What the fuck? Seriously, boys."
He probably got a kickback.
I get a case of Pepsi. It's a pretty good deal. He's best.
Hey, give me full semi truck, you know. Shortly
If the Russians only knew that Pepsi would get rid of the rust on the ships.
Oh my God, dude!
They didn't have TikTok.
They thought they were fucking us. They thought they were fucking us over. We fucked them
over.
Yeah.
We gave them the cure of their own, and they still couldn't do it.
Yeah, still couldn't do it. Well, you still need people to scrub it. Anyway, shortly after taking possession of the Pepsi Navy, the soda brand sold all 20 warships to a Swedish scrap recycling company in order to recoup the cost of their Pepsi shipment. You fucking morons.
They sold it for scrap.
You could have torpedoed Coke, literally.
Pretty awesome, right?
We could have at least used them to for battle practice, you know, like torpedo practice or something.
So around this time, or it was in the early 90s when True Lies came out and the Harrier went into prominence, and
great
Pepsi
movie.
was doing that giveaway, and they're like, or you could get a Harrier jump jet.
Oh yeah.
Thinking that no one in their right fucking mind would ever select that or be able to get that many Pepsi tickets. But there was a guy out there that figured out how much money he needed to spend to get the right amount of tickets to buy.
They did that for the lottery.
Yeah, to get that Harrier.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was I think it was $200,000 worth to buy a multi-million-dollar fucking
I would love a Harrier.
$20 million aircraft.
Yeah, and so he bought all these tickets, and then he tried to reimburse it with Pepsi for the Harrier. They're like, well, no, we don't have that to give you. And he's like,
Oh my god.
all right, well, I'm suing you for false advertising.
Dude,
and he won.
If I won a Harrier, I'd be too afraid to actually fly it. I would just hover down my street at 20 feet.
I would just
I'd be too afraid to do that.
I would just start it up, and then I'd be like, can't afford the gas.
Yeah, no,
just in my driveway, floating, just going down to turn around, hey, you know the kid that is learning how to ride a bike and oh, I'm gonna turn right around and come back up.
You know how they selected Harrier pilots back in the day?
The biggest balls.
No, they chose the guys with the highest aptitude for flight because it was one of the hardest planes to fly.
Seems
Yeah, it's
fucking
very hard.
ridiculous.
Very hard to fly, is what I've heard.
Fucking nuts. All right, well, great story by the way. Great throwback.
Yeah.
It's great.
Fucking, when I saw it this week, I was like, get out. This actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
That blew my mind.
There's another
That was
one.
crazy.
There's another one about.
Have we tried this with China?
There were.
Let's find something they really like.
Money.
That's the problem with China. They're
There's
smarter than Russians, man.
there was,
a lot
um,
smarter.
There was also an incident in the Suez Canal where the canal got blocked off and shit for 2 years.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 years. Anyway, but all these cargo ships were stuck in the canal.
That was 2 months.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a substantial length of time though.
Yeah,
and there was a small economy that formed because they couldn't get anything out to these ships and stuff. So these guys were stuck on these ships in the Suez Canal for
Yeah.
God knows how long. They were
Because
playing.
once you get in, you can't get out.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to turn around it.
No.
Lancey, since Petey's not here, I've been covering some satires. I think
You do it, buddy.
You need to cover it though. I want you.
Oh,
to cover
I need to cover it?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll do it. Hey,
because
I
I
got
want to
you.
see. I want to hear you gig a little bit while you're doing.
All
it.
right. Best Mill Satire of the Week. An actual douche promoted to major.
Oh, yeah.
The Army confirmed today that Captain Court Massengill Massengill
was an actual
has
douche.
become the first actual douchebag to be promoted to major. Major Massengill has been a refreshing addition to our battalion staff. Lieutenant Colonel Eve Summers stole the duffel bag before pinning gold leaves on the young field grade. And as our new battalion executive officer, I expect him to help me clean up this drab old unit. Summers noted that before his selection to major, Massengill earned a reputation as the driving force that reversed the toxic culture in what many considered the battalion's worst company. Once Massengill took command, he injected himself in all the problem areas. Summers told the duffel bag. In doing so, he flushed out all the ne'er-do-wells. But don't let this rigid appearance fool you. Massengill is really warm and gentle on the inside. Lieutenant Colonel Summers was not the only person to speak favorably of the young officer. According to some, Massengill is popular among the NCOs and junior soldiers, often showering them with praise.
Time out before we go. Look up a Massengill commercial, by the way. All right, from the 80s.
Major Massengill is the first aviation officer I've met who's not a complete douchebag, one soldier told Duffelblog. I mean, he's a douchebag, but he's not a douchebag. Shit, you know what I mean. Sources say Massengill is no stranger to firsts. While he was actually certainly not the first douchebag to be admitted to West Point, he was first to become first captain, the Academy's highest leadership position in the cadet chain of command. Upon graduation, Massengill became the first actual douchebag to pilot the AH-64 Apache helicopter, and by default, the first true douchebag aviator. Still, despite his clean image, not everyone is a fan of the newly minted field grade officer. Massengill is hard to take, even in small amounts. While it may appear that he is a force of good, his acidic personality can throw off the unit's balance. And personally, no amount of Massengill is good for this old Couture. Captain Couture aside, other officers of the battalion believe Massengill will flourish in any position in which he is inserted. The stale culture in this unit really stinks sometimes. Massengill is a breath of fresh air as an outside-of-the-box thinker. At the end of the promotion ceremony, Major Massengill, a man of few words, faced the assembled group and sprayed a large volume of floral-scented liquid in multiple directions.
Holy fuck.
You did good. You did good. You made it through.
Through the tears, it got fuzzy sometimes.
Go full screen. I will turn the volume back up on the thing. All right, get ready. We're doing a Massengill commercial from back in the 80s, 90s.
Yes.
Hit one up.
Do you ever feel, not so fresh?
I remember this one.
That's why I douche, but only with natural ingredients. Who has natural ingredients? Massengill. They have vinegar and water or baking soda. Trust Massengill to make you feel naturally fresh.
Oh my!
You know it's a good commercial because of the sailboat.
Oh my god! Just open that thing up sometimes and let fresh air get in there.
I already got it.
Oh Lord,
dude! Like
that's a great commercial. We don't see commercials like that anymore.
No,
now
no.
it's like
I don't
side
feel so
effects of
fresh.
Massengill are they cause cancer. You will get tumors.
I don't feel
Your
so
vagina
fresh.
will be sore.
If you just start bleeding out of your orifices, stop
Yeah.
using this.
This reminds me of fucking what's it called? Sausage Party? That fucking douche.
Oh my god,
I gotta watch
dude!
that again. I haven't
Sausage
seen that in a
Party
while. I haven't seen
is
that in a while.
It's
that
been
is
a
the
long time,
dirtiest
but
fucking
we
movie.
finally have the time to try bath salts.
Dude, that's the craziest cartoon movie I've ever seen.
And I swear to God, if you get close to that microphone, I'm gonna shove it up your asshole.
That and Heavy Metal 2000. Those are like the two best animated.
the original heavy metal.
Yeah, the original one.
No, the original before 2000.
Wasn't it the original?
I thought that was made in
80.
80s.
It was like 81.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Then-
the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, that the original was heavy metal. Heavy metal 2000 was the 2000 remake. Was the 2000
Oh,
edition. Yeah,
both of them are great.
yeah. Except the one in 81 had multiple little episodes and stuff, whereas 2000 was one long story.
Oh, that's the one I'm talking about. Heavy Metal 2000 then.
Yeah.
The one from
It
2000.
looks like Ski's trying to look this up. He's actually taking some,
Watch
Initiative.
Heavy Metal,
Yeah, there
watch
we go.
Heavy Metal 2000 every now and then. It's also got a killer soundtrack.
something I like? I'll
Dude,
actually
yeah.
put some effort in.
Yeah,
Killer
there you go.
soundtrack.
Okay.
Soundtracks are
Ooh.
Yeah.
amazing.
No
Yeah,
more soundtrack.
Monster Magnet,
But-
KMFDM.
Yeah.
it's
By the way,
such
we
good
got
stuff.
flagged for last week's shit.
What a
Remember I told you?
shocker.
Yeah, but you know where we got banned? In
What?
Russia.
What?
No. Are you
The
serious?
one place I want our videos to be shown in Russia, like that's the country we got banned in.
I'm surprised we haven't been banned
So
in China.
YouTube stopped us because we did last week. We did the Taliban.
Didn't everybody get banned in Russia?
Yeah, but yeah, right. I thought
mean,
so.
I feel like
so
they
all
shut
came,
everything
so
down.
Hall Notes was playing in the background of this video, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. I loved it. And then like I knew we were gonna get flagged because we're playing Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
And I get the email like, oh hey, you're copyright infringement. Like yeah, I figured. Here it comes. Like what country's your band? And I'm like, oh okay, not this one. Okay, cool. What country? Russia. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, bummer.
But then I'm like, no, but I kind of want to.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You want people all over the
I
world
want
to
to
see
know,
it.
but I want Putin to see when they talk shit about me. Who's talking shit? Who's this Semper Hooah?
Also-
talking
Yeah.
smack
Also-
about my super duper operation.
Well, he has
what is going on over there?
First
I
of
will
all-
poison them.
2 things. He's got the means to kill us with Novichok, and 2,
Such a pussy. Pussy.
seen what that shit does
Fucking
to people?
tankers.
Anyway,
Such pussies.
Isn't that like sarin?
it is the most powerful chemical agent ever created.
But it's like sarin, right? It like melts your skin
It's-
off.
Bring
and
it
boils
on.
you inside.
I'm fucking American.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I smoke, I drink, I can take whatever.
Also-
COVID didn't do shit to me.
Yeah.
also,
COVID got nothing on this.
also,
Bring it on.
Elon bought Twitter and fired all the assholes.
Not all of
Dude,
them.
that is
Yeah,
the greatest takeover of a
Oh
company
my
I've
God,
seen.
it's so great.
He's just fired. He's like, I'm going to get rid of 75% probably.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
literally
oh,
said that.
goddamn.
Do you see the letter they wrote? They're
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
demanding that he keeps all the staff. He's like, nah.
He's like, so I own this now. There's no publicly traded company
Yep,
anymore.
took that
This
off.
is mine.
It's private.
Yeah, you feel
Mine.
Oh, you think I can't find 2,000 of you to staff this company?
Yeah.
Want
He's
to
like,
bet?
I have bots, bitch.
I'll work for you, bro.
Want to bet? I got a lot of people that love me.
Everything's gonna be like tweeting out of Semper Hooah's thing. Like you're not supposed to do that. No.
Well, the problem is if you let it be free, you shouldn't need a lot of management.
Nope.
No.
It should just be IT.
Also-
The server went down. Okay, we'll fix
Also,
that.
there were
You know
people
what I
who
mean?
got pulled off Twitter because they're like, you said something that violated Germany's laws. And they're like, I'm in America. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
That's the problem, though. The whole world in general is like, oh, well, this isn't how it is here. And you're like, well, it doesn't
I don't
give a
care.
fuck. Like,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? All I care about is this country that I'm in. I don't care what other countries are doing.
Yeah, I don't care what you say.
It doesn't affect me.
I'm not going to your country on vacation.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the Ayatollah doesn't like what I said. Don't fucking care.
You know what I like to do? POG Pro it.
POG Pro.
It's a double feature. Who wants the double feature on this one?
I think you should take it since he's the army.
I think you should take it.
It's
This
not
is-
just army. It's two. It's two different forces here.
Yeah, and you're
Well,
related
I'm
to
near-
both of
I'm
them, so-
neither
Yes,
of those.
we own both. Right?
Yeah. I had no idea how little Army had of like fixed wing aircraft.
They have none.
How you guys have basically like
I think they have
everything
Because
is
we
outsourced to Air
branched
Force,
off
right?
and made our own branch.
think the-
They
Yeah.
made their own branch. And
Yeah,
then
so
they
it's like-
branched off and then made another
I
branch.
think the art.
I just always thought because
you guys never learned from that. Like
no.
Like multiple.
Air Force went like, we're too big.
Well,
Space
we
Force.
just have have naval aviators. We don't really. I mean, yeah,
Well,
we
we
do
have
have
ours,
Marine
too.
You have
pilots,
Marine-
but
you do.
we also have Navy
I
pilots.
do believe
We
the
call on
army.
them equally.
I do believe the army might have a couple of fixed-wing assets with their spotter aircraft.
always turns back to these two fucking assholes.
Because whenever the Marines
Whole
want to branch
episode.
off, their guys is like, let's just fucking go to Air Force or Army. Okay.
Yeah.
No, they won't
branch
take
off.
it.
They just
Where do I go get
POG
easy
Pros,
money?
POG Pros. There's two of them.
Start reading.
Double.
that
Army
looks
Chief
exactly the same.
5 Nigel
So I want to talk about going
Hugh-
duck.
Hubeshire, some Hubeshire. I don't know.
Pubeshire.
And Air Force National Guard Major Brad Vaughn. I got that one.
Hubeshire.
Yeah, you got that one. You pulled it together for that.
Yeah. In a twist of fate, a soldier and airman became an unlikely heroic duo after an elderly couple's house went up in flames in Bonifay, Florida. Probably should just let them burn. But all right, here we go. They're fucking.
Real estate value being what it is.
You went dark there. You went dark.
so fucking dark. On the night of October 9th, two service members were traveling in opposite directions with their families after taking vacations. That's what you do.
Oh my God, these guys just happen to be like crisscrossing just at this moment.
At this moment,
It's fate.
it is fate, right? Chief Nigel
There is no fate but what you make it.
Pubschmacher and Pubschmacher, whatever,
Yep.
was headed home from a trip to Mexico Beach while Major Bradley Vaughn was traveling south to Panama City Beach. Ooh. Hubschmacher. Still can't. What's his fucking name? How do you pronounce it?
Hubeshire.
Hubeshire.
Yeah.
There's no
Hubeshire.
schmuck. There's no
Hubeshire.
M at the end.
I don't know. You don't mean last names.
Hubeshire.
You don't mean last names. And his family saw the unidentified couple's porch burning, and I immediately drove up to help. His wife called 911, and he found a disoriented elderly woman at the door. After getting her out of the house, Hubschmacher. All right, the chief warrant. Chief.
Yeah.
Chief went inside to find the woman's husband sleeping. All right, so he's getting in there. Let's break this down because it actually gets kind of confusing. So the chief reportedly told the man the house was on fire, and eventually he got out of bed and walked to the door like, "Oh, my house is on fire! What?" Oh. The chief's probably like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah.
And it's a chief, so he's like, "Dude, really?
Should have just picked
This is
his
a
ass
lot
up.
of effort out of me to be here too, right?"
I got 9 a.m. tea time tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While Chief was also pushing him along, reads the armor release, by the time they reached the door, the smoke was thick black inside the home, and the exterior was engulfed in flames, and the fire came across the opening doorway. The man started to turn around and go back towards the bedroom. I need to get my dildo.
Forgot my walker.
No, I want my dildo for my wife's old crusty pussy.
Massingale.
It works really good for her stanky cunt. At the same time,
Never have
Vaughn.
that not fresh feeling.
Yeah. At the same time, Vaughn and his family drove up to the house. Being an airman, he's like, fuck that. My husband went in the house. Vaughn heard the chief's wife yell at the 911 dispatcher. From that time, we pulled over. From the time that we pulled over to the time that I got to the house fire had gotten exponentially.
It's
There
a
we go. Thank
big
you.
word.
Worse, it is.
It's a math word.
It's so hard. It's all elf and
Exponents.
Exponents.
That's what it. That's
Vaughn
derivative.
said in the Army release, as I hopped out of the truck, there was little bit of smoke, but I could make out the front porch and the front door. But as I got done helping the woman get off the gate, with all the flames and smoke, I couldn't tell where the front door was anymore. So
That's
basically,
where the flames are coming from.
it's basically engulfed. It's pretty bad. Trapped inside as the flames engulfed the house. The good old chief, the chief, pushed himself and the elderly old man that was looking for his dildo what remained out the front door. I need my dildo.
Allegedly.
I don't know why I'm saying that.
I don't know.
Out of nowhere, a blockbuster movie. All of a sudden, I see this man coming tumbling out. He was flying out through the smoke with an old man, and they both kind of spilled out in smoke and they fall, Vaughn said. Despite the raging fire, Vaughn ran to the flames to pull the elderly man from safety. If Nigel, or the chief there, had not stopped and gone where he did, I don't think either of those people would have made it out, Vaughn
Jesus
said.
Christ, you are making this take way too long.
All right. Really? The whole episode between you guys? All right, let's not go there.
We're funny.
We're rich.
Oh, we're rich. I just lost the cap off my vape. Anyway, I was the second one there.
Yeah.
And I would have not got there. There would have been a 911 call. I would have watched the house burn down. Just wondered.
He's pulling a Psalm.
I am. Wait, what page am I on? Praying there was no one inside. Luckily, everyone survived. And while Vaughn relayed his gratitude for Pubsher's heroism, the latter also praised the airmen heartedly.
Heartedly.
Oh,
Yes, heartedly.
Basically, the airmen just kind of showed up. This is the chief that did
I mean-
everything. He kind of like dragged them across. We still put them up there. I mean, they both. It's kind of a cool story, though.
If you stop, you get recognition.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily just kept driving.
He pulled over.
If you pull over and help somebody,
No, he helped.
you know what I
though.
mean?
I mean, he helped
I would have been like, man, I got to take a shit.
real bad.
And that bathroom is probably not where I want to do it.
Oh,
oh my god. That's what he was saying as he was carrying his glass dildo up. It was slowly arching down.
Same page. Same page. God, this thing used to be like hard and erect. Now it's just flat.
fuck. Love it. All right.
This is a scumbag moment. Ooh, Master at Arms First Class Patrick Adamiak.
Adamiak.
A Navy sailor based in Virginia was convicted of receiving, possessing, and selling multiple unregistered machine guns. Oh, machine guns.
Shouldn't he have gotten the POG Pro for that?
Months after a search of his home uncovered a veritable arsenal of heavy weaponry. Master at Arms First Class Patrick Tate Adamiak, 28, was first arrested and indicted in April. According to court documents between October 2021 and April 2022, Tate, who is not a registered firearms dealer, sold unregistered parts and complete weapons to undercover agents from the Bureau of ATFE. A subsequent search of Adamiak's home uncovered 25 unregistered machine guns, as well as 2 grenade launchers and
Totally
2
legal.
anti-tank missile launchers.
Wow.
Holy fuck. How
Why
do you
are
just...
you selling this?
Where do you get this stuff?
Hey, Master at Arms First Class, where are you going with that missile launcher?
Jesus.
Shut up, Kevin. I'm just putting it in my trunk.
What are we talking about? Is this like an old dragon system or javelin?
Who gives
thing?
a fuck?
I do. I want to know what it is.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm saying like.
so
how
this
do you
is
get
the
it?
other thing too.
Is this an AT-4?
Are they like SMAWs that
Yeah.
don't have rockets,
Regardless,
or
if
are
Bro
there
has-
actual missiles in the missile
Yeah,
launchers?
that's what I want to know.
The dude,
I wanna know
the
that, too.
dude has this shit in his house.
Hey, we want you to look that up.
Do stuff. I was like,
Tate is still an active duty sailor assigned to the USS John F. Kennedy.
Not for much longer.
His service record provided by the Navy shows that he first enlisted in 2012 and was assigned to the aircraft carrier's pre-commissioning unit in February 2020. According to an affidavit, Adamiak first began emailing a confidential source for the ATF in October 2021, who asked about buying parts for a Thompson submachine gun.
legit.
So
Ish.
he was contacted about, or he was trying to buy a Thompson submachine
Where
gun.
the fuck did he get that?
Well, no, you can. Well, if you have a class 3, depending what state you're in.
Adamiak first began emailing a confidential source for the ATF who asked, okay, so yeah, the guy asked Adamiak, he's looking for parts for a Thompson submachine gun.
Oh, okay, all right.
So over the next 6 months, Adamiak sold thousands of dollars worth of components to the confidential source and undercover ATF agents.
Sounds like entrapment to me.
That sounds highly entrappable. Communicating through an email address associated with Adamiak's company, Black Dog Arsenal, and providing his name and mailing address to handle money orders. At the end of October, Adamiak sold 5 receivers for Polish PPS-43 machine guns. Pull me up a picture of that,
I believe
please.
that's a Papasha.
In December, Adamiak made another sale.
That's a Polish PPS.
Sending a
43.
receiver for a Russian RPD machine gun to the confidential informant.
Oh, shit.
In March, Adamiak again sold a receiver for
43.
a Polish PPSH machine gun.
Now that's a Papasha.
And agreed to sell kits for a second PPSH machine gun, as well as a Thompson machine gun kit to undercover agents.
This is all like World War II tech.
Where the fuck is this guy getting this shit?
You got it? Blow it up.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't
Like,
sound
big picture
Polish.
of it. I got it.
it sounds like
Get a big picture of
collectors. It's old, so it sounds collector.
That is definitely old.
Right there.
And I mean, is it a semi-auto?
Yeah, it's a Papasha.
Yeah.
It's the
I
same,
mean-
it's the same shit the Russians used in World War II.
Okay.
And that's for sale online right now
I'm sure it's a recreation.
from Atlantic Firearms. If you want to go visit their site.
Sponsor us.
Semper.com. All right.
Okay, Adamiak was arrested on April 7, 2022. A search of the address associated with Black Dog Arsenal turned up 5 improvised explosive devices. The search of his home also uncovered several suspected machine guns, documents, grenade launchers, and proceeds from illegal activity. Adamiak was ultimately charged with 5 counts of receiving, possessing, and selling unregistered firearms. He faces a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison for each count. But in this country, overcrowding, he'll do 2 years.
Absolutely.
Just plea deal it, bud. That's how everybody gets out.
I don't know. Sounds POG Pro to me.
But I don't understand how grenade launchers are not.
they're not illegal.
They're not illegal.
You could have
own
a.
those.
You can have a 40 mic grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have an
actual-
HEDP fucking
No,
round
you
for
could
it.
just get like chalk and flare.
yeah,
Yeah,
you can
chalk
get
flares.
flares for them. You can
Yeah.
get the chalk rounds for them.
Dummies.
I mean, that right there. And then they're like machine guns. And you pull up that,
Guilty
and I'm
or no
like,
guilty on that one?
that's not a fucking machine gun.
Eh.
I mean,
Okay. Not guilty on our side.
In my mind, it's more misdemeanor offense. I don't care what the federal
like
government
it.
says.
I feel like it's just a weapons guy selling.
He doesn't get a guilty. I love it.
Are those still in production?
He's a gun guy, and he sounds like he just got entrapped.
Are those still in production, those
What?
firearms?
It does say here.
It looks like Atlantic.
Now, the RPD machine gun, I could kind of see that maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But what if
Where
it's
did
a
he get it?
civilian version and it's just single action?
Yeah.
It's a belt-fed gun, but it shoots
They
single
are
action.
making a belt-fed saw that's
You could
single
have
action.
They
full
do.
auto in. as
Well,
long
if you
as
have a
the
class
right-
3,
Exactly.
yeah.
But
and
he
this
said-
guy probably doesn't
And the
have
correct
that.
state you're in.
But
too.
here's the
Yeah,
thing with the
you're
class
allowed to have
3, you also have to have an FFL, and he is not one.
them.
Yeah, if you don't
All
have
right,
an FFL,
well,
yeah.
Whatever.
But I mean, I think that's kind of fucked up. But also,
half scummy, half not. We don't.
Half
he's not,
scummy.
He's not on the guilt. He's not guilty, but he's guilty. We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
let's find out about this fucking.
Sure,
All
there's
right,
gotta
this
be
is
more.
a kind of a this is kind of a catch, but it's not. It is. He's part of it. I gotta piss. You guys talk about this.
I
guy.
got this.
All right, Sam, let's take it.
All right, a 29-year-old retired sergeant at Fort Hood was charged with multiple counts of premeditated attempted murder, rape, kidnapping, and burglary in connection to an October 2nd incident in the barracks that involved a gun and was thought to be connected to other violent assaults on base. Oh, I think I remember reading this.
Holy shit.
The name of the soldier who was assigned to 62nd Engineer Battalion, 36th Engineer Brigade was not released because the charges against the soldier have not been referred to a court-martial, according to a statement issued by Fort Hood officials.
What does it take to get referred to a court-martial, then?
Well, I'm pretty sure
what the fuck?
They probably started the procedure, but it hasn't gone in yet.
October 2nd, so it takes more than a month to charge somebody?
How long did it take for you to get NJP'd?
Fucking immediately.
Oh.
Probably, I don't know, a week?
Guess it moves faster than Grunt Platoons. It took us like 6.
Well, I was on a ship.
Oh, yeah. Captain's mast.
There's nowhere to run.
Yeah, they got you.
Come upstairs, bitch.
Nothing,
God damn it.
Nothing to do either.
Had to go up in officer territory. It's scary up there.
Like, no bail. You can go wherever you want. It's like, I can't go anywhere.
The sergeant was arrested on October 2nd while entering a gate at Fort Hood and is being held on pretrial confinement. Maria Thomas, a special agent in charge of the Army CID, Central Texas Field Office, said this month the office is the lead investigation agency on the case. Earlier that day, soldiers living near the intersection of Legends Way and 37th Street at Fort Hood had received a text message alert warning them to stay away from the area because a man with a gun had been seen. Another alert told them it was safe to return less than 2 hours later. However, investigators first noticed in July commonalities among unresolved cases at Fort Hood and couldn't definitively link the crimes at the time, according to the statement. See, that might be why it's taken so long. According to a statement from CID, at the time of the sergeant's arrest, investigators said they believed he could be connected to other unsolved cases at the Central Texas base. And it says continued on to the next page, but not.
There's no continue.
That's because we are supposed to continue on to the next page. Yeah.
But not. No, yeah, you're right. That was no page.
That's,
no, they've been looking at this guy, and I know I kind of walked back into this taking a piss, but
I think
I
the
know
charge
story.
count. The charge
It's
count
through
is
the roof.
insane.
This has been going on. This is like he's like a serial something. Between murder, attempted murder, rape, everything else going on.
This guy sounds like the military version of the Night Stalker.
But they don't give you any. They don't give you any
Jeffrey Dahmer.
specificities of his crimes. They just tell you what he's been charged with.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot. If you Google what's been happening in Fort Hood for the last year and a half, it looks like this guy's been doing it. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying
allegedly.
It's him,
it's allegedly,
So
but
he's like a serial killer.
Yeah,
basically.
I was reading about this, and they have very strong suspicion that he perpetrated all this stuff, but they're gathering evidence right now.
I like it. Fort Hood's like
happening.
All right, we've got a lot of crime here. Let's pin it all on one fucking dude. Got it. Like Fort Hood, guilty for Fort Hood. Really quick, just
guilty.
What outstanding crimes do we have right now?
Guilty.
Yeah. We've got a couple of premeditated murder counts out there, 2 counts of rape, 1 count attempted rape, 5 counts of burglary, 5 counts of aggravated assault, 4 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of robbery, among other charges. We could put that all on one guy.
CID at Fort Hood's like, yeah, we got him.
When did he have time to go to work?
It was like a fucking George Bush moment there. Mission accomplished.
He's in an engineer battalion in an engineer brigade.
No name, though. Still redacted.
And this dude, so I'm confused. So he was arrested, but he's just like chilling in a jail cell right now.
Yeah, they haven't.
They haven't actually formally charged him, which people need to understand in the military. Perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly okay. They
also,
can imprison you.
It's also perfectly okay in the civilian world as well if they are gathering evidence and you are deemed a credible threat.
But they haven't charged him with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Right? Or
he hasn't been court-martialed yet.
He hasn't been court-martialed. I'm sure he's been charged.
He's been charged.
He's probably been charged on suspicion of all this stuff, but they're gathering evidence. Probably
He was charged on multiple counts. It's just no court-martial yet. They haven't set up the court-martial
which
for it.
probably means they haven't figured out all the charges they're actually doing.
There's a lot going on, too.
That he's
probably
getting
more charges.
Yeah, 134. Obviously,
basically, we need Pete here for this. Where he's like, "What you need is like, there are going to be more charges, going to be more investigative work. They're going to, you're going to do the spaghetti thing, throw it on the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah,
and he's going to do like the whole fucking cop spiel.
That's literally what I was just saying.
Yeah,
it was literally everything I was saying. Yeah. I am a barracks paralegal here. All right,
paralegal. I've got a barracks actual lawyer.
Where?
Yeah, well, he's not here right now. He's late to court.
he's late to court.
I've been texting him like, "Where the fuck
he's
are
5
you?
minutes
I'm
late.
Dying over here by myself.
5 minutes late
are
to
killing me
movement.
right now. Like, I need my lawyer right now."
Are you using your Life 360 app to track him?
Yeah, my lawyer's very
Got
late.
rid of that one.
That's a great app, though. It's good.
You have
if
kids,
you have
I
kids.
don't.
When you have kids, yeah. Oh, that sucks, man. So
Just
that
do the
guy's a piece of
microchip
shit.
like a dog.
He
man,
is
just under the skin.
Obviously guilty because we don't.
Do you think though that we'll actually
no name,
see?
so guilty.
So let's say devil's advocate. This guy did it. He gets convicted. You think they'll actually death penalty him?
No.
Because
Why are we such pussies now?
The
Like,
military
why?
won't. Military won't do it.
It's Texas.
Textable, but it's military that
The
it's-
military.
But that's what I'm saying. The
Military.
military justice should be hard as fuck.
You would.
And if you get
Used to
convicted
be.
of
Was
murdering
it hard as your
people-
voice was right there?
Yep, they came out.
Locking that flip.
Came all hard as shit.
There's a movie that came out in like the late 80s, early 90s with Danny Glover playing the head of an air group on an aircraft carrier in Vietnam. And he was basically yelling at one of his airmen. And he says, if you fuck up, I will keel haul you. And that is serious on an aircraft carrier.
Didn't he also play a fucking
Keel
piece of-
haul him on an aircraft carrier?
He also played a piece of shit. What was
you're
that?
not living
What was
here.
that? The sniper movie
Shooter.
with Shooter.
Yeah.
Shooter, yeah.
He played a fucking
Army
like
colonel. Yeah.
real.
Dude, that
piece
was
of
a cool
shit in that
movie.
He wasn't. He
Yeah,
wasn't a
it was a
piece of
great
shit
movie.
in the movie I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, but he was a piece of shit in that movie. Though.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
one, but
God.
not in Flight of the Intruder. He wasn't.
Oh,
Speaking
Flight
of
the
movies.
Intruder.
All
It's a
right,
good one, right?
speaking
Willem
of
Dafoe?
movies.
Okay, that's right.
Willem.
Tom Sizemore.
Military movie.
Rosanna
review.
Arquette.
Krantz. Hey, there's Krantz.
Movie
There's
review.
Krantz.
Krantz.
Look
Show
at
the
the blue one.
Krantz.
Just look at.
You know what's funny is I'm dressing up as a Marine for Halloween, and all my family and my kids are all dressing up as Krantz. Oh,
Don't
my
eat
wife
them.
is
Still
so
fit in your
hilarious.
uniform?
Well, you know,
Pictured his whole family. He ate his whole family. God damn.
Yeah, we used to have the
Sick
64
bastard.
count box.
new show name is Semper. Cool.
We've commandeered.
Yeah, Semper.
Hooah.
See, this is what happens with. This is why the small
This is
quarter
what happens when
Marines
you have a
take,
weak army guy with you right now.
take over.
I'm the driver. All right.
Yeah, you're
I
fucking
just
He
not
is,
driving.
he is God. He is
God.
God.
Guys,
I am God.
I could
I just watch from a distance.
I am drive.
I could unrecord any second.
I am drive.
I can make everything turn white.
Still recording.
Yeah, he did for a second. I literally had a heart attack. You saw me.
I am drive.
I am
what does this
drive.
button do?
Up Periscope. No, wait a minute. That's wrong.
Down this movie.
He watched the wrong movie.
All right, once again,
It's happened before.
the military movie review. Here we go. All right. 1996 summer blockbuster, Down Periscope.
God, what a
All right.
great movie.
So funny.
Such a great movie.
Lieutenant Commander Tom Dodge is assigned as captain to the USSS Stingray.
That was in Hot Shots.
It was.
Yeah.
As an old diesel-driven submarine.
That is
Lauren
seen better
Holly.
Better days. Starring Kelsey Grammer as Tom Dodge.
Tom Dodge.
Kelsey Grammer. What a great guy.
So
That's
hilarious.
a great guy.
Lauren Holly.
Oh, Lauren Holly.
Jesus.
Jim Carrey's ex-wife.
We shrunk your uniform on accident.
Emily's so hot.
Do you remember what other movie she was in?
Let me say.
I could click on her.
No. It doesn't work that way.
Oh.
No. She was in Dumb and Dumber.
Seaway.
Seaway. And which I
yeah.
loved her in.
Yeah. She was
Swanson. Mary
Samsonite.
Swanson. Swampson. Samsonite. I was way off.
Way off.
Swanson, not Samsonite. By the way, she actually lived in this area here.
Oh.
Was married to Jim Carrey too for a little while after she did the movie with him. She lived the Winstone neighborhood. Remember that? That's
Oh.
very nice.
Yeah.
Had a little residency near us.
Nice.
Bruce Dern as Animal Graham. Bruce Dern, fantastic. He was great in this movie. My favorite of him ever being in was
The Burbs.
The Burbs.
Oh, yeah, The Burbs.
So fucking good. William H. Macy.
Hey, Rumsfeld.
Captain Knox.
As William H. Macy was fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
He's always great in everything he does.
Yep.
He's fantastic. Rip Torn, God rest his soul.
Admiral,
Passed not too
Admiral
long.
Winslow.
Admiral- Oh no. You no longer wreck me. And one of my favorites, who's not a favorite in this movie, though, is Rob Schneider as Marty
he was actually
Pascal.
one of my favorites in this movie.
Yeah.
This movie
Also-
has so many good people.
All right, we're also forgetting Patton Oswalt had
Yes,
a bit
small
part
role.
in this.
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Let's see who else.
I don't know. We could continue on to the next page.
Yeah.
No, there's not. There's notes there.
There was somebody else that was in it, and I just it's
Not nobody like noteworthy about. There's some small people that
Harlan Williams.
Yeah,
Harlan
he was
Williams.
in it.
How about Toby Huss?
Toby Huss. Toby Huss was
Nitro.
there. Toby Huss is Nitro. I know him from two movies. This one and Vegas Vacation. He was the guy selling the IDs on the side of sign.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
what is to be a boy in love?
Hey, Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Harlan Williams. I remember this guy. I seen him a
Half-Baked.
bunch of
Oh,
shows.
half, yeah,
Yeah, he's
half
in
baked.
so much shit,
Half baked. No, sir, I'm not a security risk. I'm actually quite trustworthy. Dude, my wife laughed her ass off. Like, do your notes.
Dude.
All right.
Movie's so great.
So this movie's great on so many levels, just because it's like, you know, it's that classic peacetime military movie from the '90s, like Sergeant Bilko and stuff like that, where it's just not serious at all, but still kind of serious.
Chill. Yeah, there's some dramatic, a little tension, but it's all comedy. It's comedy. It's comedy fun.
Yeah. The opening scene is one of my ultimate favorites, where they're doing a shooting solution, and he's on the deck of the ship, and he's like,
but you don't know he's golfing yet.
Yeah,
like they're like fighting a target, and all of a sudden it's like,
we have a shooting solution,
and then he goes chip,
and he drives it. And then William H. Macy comes out, and she's like, maybe we should pull in so you can putt out.
But when they zoom out, like, because the lower part of his uniform is actually wearing like the checkered golf pants, like this is great.
And the shoes and stuff. It was hilarious. I thought I was just having a little fun.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's the kind of officer you want.
Oh, absolutely. So funny.
A man.
Also,
the tattoo piece.
By a strange coincidence, I am. Also, when he goes to report, and he just pulls right up to the stairs in his Corvette, and just hops out. He's all excited. Doesn't even bother parking.
He's all excited. He's like, yeah, I know. Like everyone's like, what the fuck? He pulls in the like 50s Corvette.
Yeah,
which made me want to buy another one. I'm like, oh, man, I really want one of those.
Hope they have it in turquoise.
But there's like Kelsey Grammer's the
he's got his like classic comedic delivery. So like just picture like Frasier.
Yeah.
Commanding a submarine is
but it's better than that, like, because it was Frasier commanding it.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing is, like, my wife was actually talking about this.
This was during Frasier.
She laughed her ass off, and then she's like, he's not that. He's funny, but I don't see him. Like, don't you remember? Like, during COVID, we watched all of Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then like we started Frasier after that. I'm like, don't you remember how funny he was? Like, he's funny, but he was like, that's serious funny.
Yeah,
like,
he's
still funny.
Yeah, he plays like that prim and proper guy.
I mean, this was a little different. This role, he was
a little more.
He was kind of there, but he still was more.
It was more laid back in this one.
But she was laughing her ass off the whole time. Like, so shut up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, great star power. We already kind of like touched on that. I don't think anyone but Kelsey Grammer could have really played that role.
Yeah, no, he did it so well. Like,
it was made for him.
There's a lot of scenes where he just knocks it out of the fucking.
Oh yeah, like the scene where he's addressing them having a female dive officer. Oh my god,
laughing his ass
this
off.
This is gonna be hard on all of us. I'm sure we could erect ourselves or whatever it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Throughout, I like the scene too, like the fart scene where he's like, him himself is like all pissed off that that he farted, and then he's trying to do like the silent. That's actually a really funny scene. The silent scene where he's trying to convince him to do the whole thing, and everyone's jumping in. And he's like, trying to show him. It's like mouthing everything, and everyone's like playing along with it. He's getting up, like his physical face of getting pissed off. He's like. It's like I saw so much of myself in that too, going because I do a lot of that too. Like I'm always trying to like in this show, I'm always like mouthing to him, and everyone's like, "What?" like over here, I'm going like, "Get closer to the mic, get closer." And everyone's like, "I'm like,
use your words."
Like, yeah. Well, I don't want. Sometimes you don't want to. I'm just like, read my mind.
Steal
Like,
third.
read my mind.
Oh
Read my
my
mind.
God.
Yeah, like Mike, get closer to the mic. Fucking asshole. Like, no, so that part was great. Go on.
Yeah, Rob Schneider just playing like the dickhead, like career focused XO.
Yeah, I love that. So like,
you can't do that, sir.
You can't do that. Down, Marty, heel.
My wife never watched this before, so we're watching it, and like, there's a scene like in the kitchen where he's like chewing out the lard in the coffee thing.
Yeah,
and he's
What are
like
we gonna
oiling
need?
everything up. This
Cooking fat,
and I
or
saw her like
lard?
walk away for a second.
Depending on the temperature.
I saw her like get to her phone. So I'm like, no, watch this part because Rob Schneider is gonna get fucked up. It's fucking hilarious. Like, how do you know this movie so well? You haven't seen it in a while. I'm like, it's just I watch it more than you think I do.
Yeah.
Even if it's not one of my favorites. I still watch it once a year.
But it's like
Once a year. I mean, I've watched it once a year for 20 years. So.
Oh yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Where they had the walking the plank. Fucking my favorite.
Number one, like probably the best scene.
It reminded me.
This is the modern Navy. You can't do this.
Didn't it remind you of Wog Day? Didn't it remind you of Wog Day?
Yes.
Right?
There was more fire hoses on Wog Day.
There was a lot more fire hoses on Wog Day.
What the fuck is Wog Day?
The beginning of
I was like, what the
Okay,
hell is
so
Wog
Wog Day, you go from a polywog to.
The fuck is a polywog?
Okay,
shellback.
so a shellback. So it's a person that has been on a ship that has crossed over the
You're
equator.
going from one acronym to another. Like,
He's explaining.
So you go over the international date line or the equator, and you have a ceremony on a ship. Every ship has it. Like everybody, like even fishing boats. It's a sea thing.
Okay.
It's
Sounds
a
fun.
tradition
Sounds
of the
fun.
sea. Is when you cross the date line or the equator. I think it's the equator.
It's the equator.
It's the equator.
It's another one if you cross the date line and the equator at the same time.
We did that. That's when I got mine.
Yeah.
We
We
crossed
did that.
both of them.
Yeah.
That's why I got confused. But yeah, you cross over the equator. So all the people that have already done that before, they like spray you with shaving cream, and you have to like low
They
crawl on
basically
the flight
haze you
deck.
all day.
They spray you with fire hoses and shit.
And you're on the equator, so it's hot as fuck.
Yeah, but it's like a fun thing
It's
to
fun,
break
yeah.
up the monotony of ship life.
Right,
and
right.
It's fun.
They like make you like wear your clothes inside out. They give you like shirts that you have to wear.
Yeah.
Like with your like name on there.
Yeah.
And like mine was like Shameless Wog.
Mine was shitbag.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, you have to go and praise King Neptune and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's like a whole.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on a ship, because when you're on a ship, dude, it's the monotony of every day is like there's nothing different.
Yeah, and
every day, because Marines don't do anything on a ship.
But I love that scene. Like, so they had the guy buying the
Yeah.
gum from the. And
Yeah.
I actually told my wife, like, they actually have little stands.
They
where
do.
buy
Yeah,
stuff.
they have
they
those
do.
on
My
the
wife
ship.
was like, they have a stand like no, they have like little.
We have
like,
our own banking systems.
Yeah,
on
but
ships.
even on a submarine, they have supposedly have
A
stores
store.
on- a store.
They have a store, yeah.
on it,
They also
too.
used to have like a little smoke deck on submarines back in the engine area where only two
like
people
I
could
know on
smoke
bigger
at one
ships they
time.
do because
Yeah.
talking to you guys and
Surface
Yeah.
vessels, you definitely.
But then I
have.
looked up on submarines, they actually have the little
Yep.
shop,
Yep.
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 Your little-
It literally is probably that
little
small.
shop at.
So crazy. But when you run out of shit, there's no getting resupplied in a submarine. That's the only thing that sucks.
Yeah, how do they do that on ref?
Volunteer force.
Like we ran out of smokes on our ship for like I think like a week.
Also in the
And everyone was raging.
everyone that
we were like, you cannot run.
everyone
out of
in the Marine
cigarettes.
Corps and the Navy that go to sea, you get what's called sea pay, and every time you go to sea, your sea pay goes up with the amount of times you've done it.
Well, and it's a portion of your paycheck, so you can go,
Yeah.
hey, I want.
No, it's not. That's split pay.
Split
sea
pay.
pay is the additional pay you get for being on the ship.
It's like hazardous duty pay.
down
Hold
Periscope.
on. But when you're
talk
when you're,
directly to the camera. The movie is down Periscope.
Fell off
But,
the
I'm getting
the Marines here on this show.
I'm bringing it back
I don't
around.
know what the fuck they're doing. Taking
Okay,
over. They're
never
still talking.
Anyway,
Here we go.
When you're on a submarine, not only do you
Yeah.
get the sea pay, but you also get submerged pay
Yeah, which is more money,
because it's hazardous and you could be like lost at sea, and, they
and you
can't
don't get to
recover
see
you.
the sunlight.
Yeah, and if your boat sinks, no one's coming to get you.
That's the one thing I found wrong with this movie. There was not enough white people.
Wait.
These for submariners, these people were very tan.
Oh yeah.
Submariners are pasty Casper-like looking people.
I've never seen sun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were only down for a little while, right?
It was only for a war game.
It was a war game. Real quick.
Also, I imagine they had to get acquainted with the boat at some point.
All right. Let's.
The S-33.
Yeah. Also, when they put the line across the engine room,
Yeah,
like
oh,
when we
that's
get down there, it's gonna crush this up like a beer can. Talking about the movie,
Crayon shaking.
crayons don't
I love
jingle.
the crayon
Because
jingling.
there's ammo in that. If I put actual crayons in there, they'd be gone.
They wouldn't last.
gone.
I would be drawing something on this table.
It's the only- yeah.
Yeah.
We should do some drawings. You guys, little caveman marine drawings. Eyes on Semper, Hooah.
Stick throwing.
It's me fucking this whore at port.
I just saw like
I was in
American.
Thailand.
I just saw like American
to go.
Psycho, and I remember that scene where he's just drawing the fucking table with the crayons.
Yeah.
That's why they fucking just drawing dead bodies. Like,
yeah.
I remember this.
Also, I'm just gonna remark this: why can't the peacetime military be this much fun?
All right, yeah.
right.
That's a
Great
good
movie.
end.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
War game.
Sam, your rating?
I forget what I gave it.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Wow, really? Okay.
Well, I gave it a 3.5 because it was like typical '90s fare. They all kind of followed the same basic, formula for the movie. You know, the
comedy.
evil upper echelon officers trying to like drum this dude out of the service and shit like that. It's
Doesn't
basically
that still happen in the Navy?
yeah, but it's basically the same plot
Yeah.
of Sergeant Bilko, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But Navy.
yeah, but Navy and dealing with primarily officers.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, fairly
3.5.
formulaic.
3.5 is good though.
3.5, but
not bad for comedy.
it had a lot of accuracies as far as like military
Actually, it
service
did, though.
submarines and
It
stuff like
did.
that. Yeah, like
it actually kind of did. Like I was actually shocked with it. Even being a comedy, it was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yet No, yeah, accurate.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
I didn't see a whole lot of
honestly,
like.
it got me to thinking, like, I kind of wonder if the Navy actually does have one of those old diesel subs that they use for war games.
I mean, I would.
They do.
Why
Yeah,
not?
They do.
Like,
I've seen them in San Diego.
or do we just do them? Or do we just do them with like foreign navies that have diesels? I'm curious. There's also
like partner countries.
yeah, there's
like Japan is big.
because Sweden, I think it is, has one of the world's quietest diesel subs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's,
Well, it's like a
it's
Tesla.
almost yeah, it's like
I mean,
it's
they're
bas-
super quiet.
yeah, but it's got one of the most efficient battery systems.
Wasn't
and it's
the one
about
that
as
they had the
efficient
guy
as a
that
nuclear
killed?
sub.
Didn't they have a
Lithium
Netflix
ion.
special on that guy that like killed the chick that was on board? Did that happen?
on a submarine?
Yeah, he made his own submarine. He's a rich dude from
he made his own submarine
Yeah.
and then killed a chick on it.
Yeah. It was like a
This seems like an inappropriate use of a submarine.
It was like, right?
Also, you're gonna have to surface to get rid of the body.
No, they
Torpedo
didn't even-
tube, dude.
They were actually surfaced when he like ditched her and they went, oh, she went off the port and what? No, I killed her.
What?
There's
Where
a whole
was
there's
this
a whole
at?
Netflix thing on this thing.
Talk about getting out.
Anyway,
topic.
I'm giving it a 4. Or submarines. I give it a 4. Comedy wise, I've always loved this movie. I always loved the end of the movie too. Was the almost Navy recruiting video at the very
With
end
the
of the
village
movie.
people?
With the village
Yeah.
people. We want you as you recruit. You know?
well, that's actually part of the song "In the Navy."
Yeah, in the Navy. Navy almost actually picked that as a legit recruiting thing, and
Does that surprise you?
well,
It shouldn't.
no.
You know where that? You know where the origins of that song came from? In gays serving in the Navy,
Right, you know the lead singer of the village
Because
People
it's
isn't
not gay when
by
you're
the way.
underway.
Well, no, because during the Vietnam War, when everyone was getting drafted, like,
Yep.
and obviously we had like the gay
Lot of,
rules.
A lot of gays.
Yeah. Well, what a lot of the don't do it.
I don't know.
Don't you fucking do it. A lot of gay men would join the Navy because the Navy was actually the most lenient about gays serving in the military back in that day.
Okay,
Yeah,
my-
because it's not gay if you're underway.
so my rating's a 4.
Yeah. 4 solid. It's a
Pretty
solid 4.
Solid 4
All right.
for this movie.
What was my rating? What's the
We'll
next
get there.
rating?
We'll get to you in a second. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. We'll get to you and Sam in just a second.
We're going to get back to the Jay and Sam show.
Where the fuck is Pete right now? Where is Pete? I'm texting Pete. I'm not getting anything.
Ghosted by Pete.
Hey, if you hurry up, we can get to Smoke Pit and wait for
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Anyway, so I'm giving it a 4 for my reasons because Kelsey Grammer loved, Cheers, him doing
Yep.
all this.
You just like Kelsey Grammer. He's
I
a
do,
solid
fucking
dude.
awesome. Plus,
He's
you know,
funny.
I loved what's her nuts. What's her
Lauren
face?
Holly.
Oh, my
Emily.
God.
Let's just call her
Oh my
Emily.
God.
I like her
You're
character
almost
more
out of
than I like her.
Oh my God, when she was out of uniform, dude. Anyway, 4 for me. Solid comedy. All right, Lancey, you gave it a 3 as well.
I give it a solid 3 because it's just a good movie you can put on and just have a good chuckle. You don't really have to think about much.
Nah.
There's not the plot is great, but it's not hard to pick up. You know what I mean?
It's got a good blend of intelligent humor and slapstick too.
Yeah, it's funny.
is funny.
And it
It's
brings
hilarious.
in a lot of that real military
It's
type
fucking
stuff. So
hilarious. Yeah.
you can laugh at it after you've been there and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, that's real.
Been there.
Been there, that's real. That guy's a real douchebag.
Like
Probably
when-
put himself in for a Silver Star.
Like when they were
Like
scrubbing the
Admiral.
fuck out of the ship, it's like, oh god, I imagine that working party.
Dude, yeah, that ship was a piece of shit. It was a bad, but I really liked the fucking whale guy, the sonar guy.
whale guy.
Dude,
Yeah, he
that
was
guy
good.
was the greatest shit.
What's his name? again?
Harlan Williams.
Yeah, he was in Half Baked, which
Yeah.
I love.
And he's like moving around in the submarine. It's like,
fucking. No, he's
It's
good.
a whale, sir.
yeah, they're just
moving
whales.
around.
I actually loved his character in what was it? What was the Fairley Brothers movie? Something About Mary. When
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
he's the mass murderer.
Oh.
serial killer. The serial
shit,
killer.
I haven't seen that in a
The
long ass
hitchhiker.
time.
The
Yeah.
hitchhiker.
You know
Oh,
that,
yeah.
You know that 15-minute ab workout? I did the 12-minute ab workout.
See, look at
Ab
this.
workout.
Even the Marines are going.
Projecting
Microphone
my
more.
voice. All right.
It
Not very
still
well.
doesn't work though.
Yeah, because that's how the microphone picks it up. It goes, I can talk over here all day. Doesn't mean that works that way, asshole.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shut
but you're
you
rating.
up there.
You're
If
rating
you
though.
can't hear it in here,
Ski,
no one can
ski.
hear
You're
it.
rating. All right.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Look,
Four skis.
What
Four
are those
Cayuse.
little guys?
Cayuse. Oh,
damn it.
show your head for him.
What is a Caillou?
We call him a Caillou. Let's take off the headset for a second.
does he
He's
have?
Caillou.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why he's Caillou.
Yeah. All right, I get it now.
Because he has cancer. he doesn't.
No,
He's a big fan. Yeah, you thought
I was like,
look at his face for like 2 seconds. 2 seconds, his face was, oh, he's got cancer? No.
Fuck you.
I was trying to think of cancer jokes. God, I'm sorry.
That's why I call him Kai.
Yeah,
'cause he
you're
looks
not
like
really
he's cancer.
prepared for cancer jokes, are you?
Jesus,
I
no.
know.
Not at all.
Whoever is, right? Anyway, four
Solid 4.
Four
Good-
Cailloux for you.
Good comedy. Fucking, I couldn't really tell. There was a lot of inaccuracies. I thought there was gonna be a Navy guy. That's why I thought you picked it.
No.
Technically, I was owned by the Department of the Navy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Men's department.
No.
We just have the bitches. We don't have the
Bitches.
we don't have the pimp here.
Yeah. Well, you are. He's right though.
Yeah.
You are the.
We are the
hose.
bitches, yes.
You are the hose.
We go where our daddy takes us.
You are the hose.
Else Wayne Brady's gonna have to smack a bitch, right?
Yeah, no, we chose this because we decided on lowered expectations to like pick these like ridiculous fucking movies for it. Because none of our guests have ever picked like either a bad movie or a fucking comedy.
Yeah.
Also, the problem is once a movie is stated in the group chat, there can be no other movies mentioned.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we run into
Confusion.
I watched the wrong movie.
Which happened. So whoever says the first one, we just go for it.
Yeah, we
From
just
there.
go at whoever gets to it first.
But
Like, okay, good.
good
To be
movie,
fair, it was
good
going to be this
comedy.
or
Good comedy. All right.
Fucking yeah, solid on point. I didn't see like obvious inaccuracies, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that typical fucking having fun on war games, fucking going ape shit with it. I loved it.
Fuck yeah. All right, it's key, kid.
War games are fun.
I am gonna say one thing of as far as inaccuracies when he's like adding the Jim Beam to like the fuel mixture. He's
Things
like,
out the
Oh,
mix.
yeah.
things out the mix. I'm like,
Does that really?
you're putting a pint of whiskey into a 55-gallon tank
Of diesel.
That's
of
enough.
diesel.
That's
It is
enough.
not thinning up the mix at all.
It's gonna get 50 more RPMs. Yeah, like he said. I mean, I looked at him and go,
Sam, I think that's real.
Should have
Yeah,
put a
he's
fucking
old.
gallon of spiritus
He's
in there, and
old.
that would have done it.
he's old. He's got
Yeah.
some nylon socks and like some really weird shoes he was wearing.
Well, he
Yeah.
was clearly the last person.
Well,
to
no, he's
serve on
also
that
like
boat.
a retired Navy civilian working on a ship. We get that.
Yeah, I
Yep.
kind of figured that too.
My wife was like, "Is that guy Navy?" I'm like, no, this is the typical military. We have like old fucking retired guys
Yeah.
that work on shit.
He's the only one who knows how
He's
those
a
engines
civil-
work.
Yeah.
He's a fucking civilian doing,
Do we know anybody that can run these engines? We can call George. He's not doing anything. He retired
was
30
there when it
years
was
ago.
made.
But
Shit.
I do believe, and I might be wrong about this, but I think the U.S. is the only nation where 100% of its submarines are nuclear powered.
I don't know if it's
100%?
100%.
It is. I'm pretty sure.
I would ask Key, but I'm
No, I know-
Jones probably would got this.
None of our subs
You
are
know
none
it
of our
automatically.
combat subs are diesel powered. I know that.
No, not combat. But I think in the Navy, I think we do have electric subs.
No, all nuclear subs are electric. That's what generates the electricity is the nuclear.
Well, no,
reactor.
I mean diesel subs. That's what I meant to say.
I don't think we do.
You don't think we have any?
I don't think we do.
Let's go to the board. Do we have any?
Let's see here. Cuba's United States Submarine Force consists of 4 operational classes: Ohio, LA, Seawolf, and Virginia, all of which are nuclear powered.
Hey,
The
you are
14
right.
Ohio class SSB and service. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
whatever.
Don't need to know
Don't
all
care
that,
about that
but
shit.
like
Okay. So yeah, we probably just partner with partner nations to train on their diesel subs.
yeah. I mean, unless
'Cause-
we have a trainer.
Because I think diesel subs are super fucking quiet. They can make them super
The new ones
fucking-
are.
The new ones, yeah, the new
they're,
ones.
They're also a lot cheaper to like actually maintain, which is why a lot of foreign militaries use them because
You just can't be submerged for long as a nuclear sub.
Marine Corps. All right, the movie was
I mean?
down Periscope.
Periscope.
North
It was
Korea,
pretty
those
awesome.
motherfuckers.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you've seen it, watch it again. It was pretty good in our eyes. Obviously, we all gave it good ratings.
Yeah, but it's
All
rated or
right,
no?
Jesus fucking
play me a
Christ.
dirge, mate.
Play me a dirge, maybe. Nah. All right. It's time for a smoke pit. We're going to take a little break here. Piss break, this, that. Maybe people show up. We'll see what happens. We'll see you guys right after these maybe messages.
Messages from our sponsor.
Messages. Sure. All right.
We don't say 2 or 1.
We don't. And, hey, we're back from the smoke pit. And Petey's here.
Made it.
All right. Made it just in time for the smoke pit.
Don't worry, Lancey and I'll still take over.
Yeah, you guys, really have been. Ski's been slacking quite a bit, but you know what? That's all right.
He's pulling it
He's in
together.
the lounge chairs.
He's
what are you?
trying.
Contrary to
Talk in the
popular
microphone.
belief,
Camera,
I
I'm
do
not-
have an
I'm not on the
opinion.
camera. I'm not here.
You're not-
I do have an opinion
thing
about our
extends, you know.
smoke pit topic.
Oh, you do?
that's
I like to
counter
learn.
to current DoD policy. But
Oh, well,
Well, good thing we don't stand for DoD policy.
Well, at least-
We already made
At
that
least you and I
disclaimer.
don't.
Well, so all right, as per the smoke, but we're gonna. So we have a resident that kind of is dealing with some of this stuff, or partakes quite a bit. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you,
I
Lancey.
was like, what?
So all right. Here's the thing I want to bring up because
Yeah.
all right, when we discuss our lower expectation shows, we're like, all right, we're gonna talk about the smoke pit. Like, there's some ideas maybe I'll throw out and
See what sticks.
yeah. And then I threw out this thing about weed, and like Lancey's like, yeah, I'm
We
all
should
about it.
definitely do it because I know all the pros and cons.
So all right, let's break this down really quick before we get into some cliff notes on all this bullshit. All right, so with POTUS giving clemency for people convicted of federal marijuana possessions earlier this month, so that happened like early October, right? Does that mean weed will soon get its day in Congress and become legal? So like this is a big question here, right? Like so he like put it out there like, hey, he's gonna get a bunch of guys out that are federally convicted for weed charges, right?
Which brings to question, what is how do you get federally convicted?
So
of
first off,
marijuana
though,
possession?
before we dive into legality on all of this,
Yeah.
According to the White House and reports from the U.S. Sentencing Commission, the USSC, there's no one currently in federal custody for simple possession of marijuana.
Right. It's always in combination of something else.
We're giving clemency to no one.
Yeah, basically that's what's happening.
Yeah.
All right. Secondly, this seems also like a political move before midterms, and not to get too political, but that seems where it's at. But, and here's the big but. This is the big if, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if it becomes legal? Like federally legal? Like, all right. How does that now affect the military? How do they react to it? How does the military react to it?
You treat it like alcohol. You
I
can't
think
go to
it's-
work stoned. You know.
I think it's still banned.
Right.
Yeah, because
So-
they could still go above and beyond.
It's still banned for many reasons, but the reason why I believe it, in federal legalization of it, is because people use it as a medicine. Like, it literally helps people's lives become better, and anything that is able to do that, people should have the right to do that. But in the military, it also does. It makes you more docile. It makes you more like loving, compassionate. Makes you
We don't need
less
that.
angry. And in the military, we don't need that. We need these motherfuckers to be pissed. We need them to be.
I mean, I would really like it if my first sergeant was stoned.
But I mean, alcohol can bring out like aggressive tensions in people.
No.
Which is good. You want that in the military. You
Yeah.
want your military. These are warriors. We don't want people to be fucking docile little bitches. Like, I don't, at least. I
Feel
want
dang.
people to be aggressive in the military.
And so all right. So the Air Force already greenlit waivers for THC positive applicants, right? So this is like a thing if they showed up to MEPS, they were trying out, they popped hot, they would also get a retest. Before that,
They give them a waiver within a certain amount of time.
right. Before that, there was like automatic disqual. You weren't,
Yeah.
you popped it. No,
Yep,
you can't
you're
fucking
screwed.
join.
Yeah.
So now they're already giving waivers. They're like, oh,
I think that's because of the recruiting shortage. though.
Absolutely.
Well, I also believe, though.
Is it that though, or is it a little bit more?
no, I think it's straight up the recruiting
I
shortage.
think it's numbers. It's a numbers game,
Yeah,
purely,
okay.
pure and simple.
Yeah.
But it's the
I
Air
mean,
Force.
when you're signing up, most people are signing up 18, 19, 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
They should not, even in the states where it's legal, they should still not have any THC in their bloodstream because it's still illegal unless you're 21 years old.
But I think where the policy should change is that prior consumption of THC, whereas right now it's banning all applicants if you've had any.
Yeah,
use
they
in
should.
the
They should be
past.
like, hey,
Nah.
you tested positive for it. We're going to test you after boot camp or whatever, and make sure that you test clean.
Well, according to that Purple Hearts movie, you can enlist after you've done opiates.
Wow.
It's so true though.
That's definitely true.
All right. Well,
Reaching a little to Netflix's worst military movie.
all right. Let's say everything goes good. Let's say it green lights right at
Yeah.
some point because it might. I mean, it looks like it. I mean, even though it seems like a political move that's happening right now,
I feel like it'll get pushed back to the states.
but once again,
Where it
though,
should go anyway.
kind of like the whole
Which has been the
abortion
trend
shit.
with-
I think that's how our country is made to be, is more of a independent state.
Yeah, and the way
And-
the Supreme Court has been ruling on so many, be it Roe v. Wade or anything else, has been pushing
Yeah.
it back to states.
Where guess what? This is still a free country. You can live wherever you want. You don't like the laws in a state, you can move.
Yeah, you don't
And-
like
and-
Texas, move to California.
All the Californians moving to Texas and trying to change Texas.
All right. Well, let's play this whole what if card. Right?
Yeah.
Let's go Marvel. What if? And it becomes legal. Let's say in the next year, 2, 3, whatever. I mean, right now I don't actually see it happening, but let's just say it does happen.
Yeah.
and then the military's reaction to it if it was legal, like if it
Yeah.
actually becomes legal, like federally legal.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, would the military like follow along with it, or would they like keep up the bullshit of like it's still
I feel
a
like
substance,
the
right?
military, I think, is a slow machine, right?
No.
I mean, think about
thing.
think about don't ask, don't tell policy.
Mm-hmm.
How long that was in place, even though us as a society was like, dude, if you're gay, just be gay. Like, we don't give a fuck. If you want to come and fight, you want to come and fight. I don't give a shit if you're gay or whatever. You want to fuck donkeys, just don't do it around me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where the fuck I was going. I'm kind of stoned.
Slow motion.
Maybe that's a good point right there.
Well, here I got a good point on legal precedent, right?
All right.
So any type of restrictions in a workplace, and however you want to look at it, the military is still a workplace under federal law,
I remember
right?
where I was going.
In order to do any type of restriction, you have to have what's called a bona fide occupational qualifier, right? So why can't men have beards? Because the military determines that the beards interfere with the work of the pro mask.
Yeah.
So that's a bona fide occupational qualifier, right? Why can't men have long hair in the military? Because it gets caught in equipment, machinery, blah, 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 blah.
Aren't
Plus
people
the
getting waivers for that, though?
They are, but, right.
You know what I mean?
As a big thing, right? So the military will very likely come out and say, hey, consumption of marijuana versus alcohol, which can be much more easily diagnosed and identified and what have you, is a bona fide occupational qualifier based on X, Y, Z, and therefore why we're going to prohibit it.
So you think your theory is, though, if it does become legal, the military will say, hey, no, you still can't.
Still illegal.
Yeah, I think they're going to still keep it illegal.
I'm gonna say they're still gonna keep it illegal, but I think they're gonna do it for maybe about 10, 20 years until they've done more long-term studies, and then they'll relax it.
What I hope does happen, though, on the federal level, now that we're talking about question me if I'm wrong. So when you get out, if I had my doctors were able to prescribe me medical marijuana versus me just having to go buy it at a dispensary, that would be something that would be super beneficial to tons of veterans. Not every veteran. Veterans that are having certain problems, I feel, could be handled, and I know tons and tons of people that it's changed their lives and helped them. People that have been in horrific accidents and stuff like that, have PTSD, all kinds of stuff. They've tried the medicinal pharmaceutical shit, and literally the pharmaceuticals just destroy your body.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And this is something naturally that the worst thing that could possibly happen is it does something to your lungs. But there's other ways to take it other than just smoking it.
Yeah, you can eat it.
You don't have to smoke it.
Right.
There's tons of different ways, and I'm not saying, but if my doctor was able to do that, but my doctor can't do that now because federally it's still illegal.
Right, and also
Like a VA doctor cannot prescribe it.
There's also,
even though they say, yeah, you should probably just do that.
Yeah, and then there's and also to address that point, there's also other studies that are being done right now on other drugs that are been traditionally used for recreational purposes.
Yeah, like ketamine.
Yeah, ketamine's a big one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of major like psychiatric studies with ketamine for treating of post-traumatic stress.
They
and
do that in the
other
Netherlands.
disorders. Yeah,
right?
Also MDMA is another one. They're using that in conjunction with talk therapy to help people work through their issues.
I just think of all things to keep away from people, this is the least harmful.
I agree.
Thing.
I also agree with all this, and this is so. All right, let's say the military actually follows suit, right?
Yeah.
Like they follow suit with like everything in past.
They say,
right?
okay, you can do it, just not on you.
Yeah. Let's go down this route. Like, let's go the idea of like, it gets all passed federally. All of a sudden, we're like Canada.
Yeah.
Well, we're socialist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're having a good time. We're like, let me tell you, Canada really reminds me of Europe, though. It's fucking insane to go up there. Like the way you try to buy cigarettes or alcohol, you're like, what the fuck is this?
With mushmouth on it.
Oh my god, it's horrible up there.
Yeah.
It's regardless. Okay, so let's say the U.S. military goes, okay, all right, we're gonna allow
Treat it just like alcohol.
Yeah, we're gonna treat it just like that. Would they treat it like that? Like, can you imagine like a Class 6 selling gummies and like an eighth of blue diesel? Like, that's what I want to know. Like that's what I always want to know. Like
Gonna need a lot more room in that AFES.
Like you're there going like,
that's a good
I was
strain.
gonna get a bottle of bourbon, and also I'm like, there's some gummies over here, and blue diesel.
Think about it though. If they just were allowed to sell gummies, right? Guys go on 15-mile hikes. Guys go on 20-mile hikes. You come back, you hit up the PX. I'm gonna go relax, guys. and
That's kinda
guess
crazy,
what?
though.
It would probably help with bone joint problems. It would probably help with muscle relaxation.
Yeah.
It would probably make them better, but only, you know.
But could you imagine like being at the Class 6, going like walking in
Can
like
you imagine a barracks party?
like you know but you know
It'd
that
be
like
more mellow, for sure.
A lot more spins, I'm
but like
sure.
you know that part like when you're at Class 6 like you buying tobacco, right? So my
Yeah.
guess would be like that's the way you buy weed, right? Like be on that tobacco counter.
Yeah.
There's the cartons of all the smokes, and all of a sudden there's like all the weed there.
Yeah.
Nice jars.
Yeah, like jars and like there's
Yeah, but-
gummies and all that shit. You're like,
Yeah.
You also have that one private like spending like way too long, and the other guy's behind him like that fucking E6 behind. I'm like, come on, fuckers, let's go.
Yeah.
like I want to get my shit,
Bro,
Like, because I'm like that all the time. Like, be end the line when the guy's like trying to pick something. Like, can you fucking hurry up?
What
Bro,
are the effects of
Because
that?
like, I see that lower end guy. I'm like, all right, I don't want to be a dick. I've been waiting 5 minutes. I'm gonna be a dick at this point. I'm gonna use my right. Can you fucking hurry up? Because he could turn around and he'd be like, mm-hmm.
My girlfriend is the exact same way when she goes to buy weed at a dispensary. Like, because I've gone with her, and she goes in and she'll like sit there waiting. She already knows what she wants. She's very specific about it. And then when all these people like try to lecture her about it, she's just like, just give me what I want.
Give it to me.
I know what I want. Just give it to me. You know, like
Yeah.
And you know, she's also one of these people where someone's like, "This is the one that'll help you study." She's like, "Yeah, save it. All right, give me that."
Oh, God. Yeah, the salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to talk to those people, though.
So this brings up like whole many more things too, right? Like
Yeah.
if it is legal and they
Yep.
go through it, right? If so, all right. So like, you take a UPL because you have to take a UPL in the service, right? No matter what, you have to take a piss test.
Yeah.
Right? That's what UPL is. You're taking your drug test.
Thank
right?
you for clarifying.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck that was.
For our not, dude. It's not just us. There's
I
people
didn't know
listening.
what you were talking
I
about.
just call it a piss test and pecker check.
Oh, you guys don't call it UPL?
We didn't call it UPLs, no.
What do you guys call it?
Piss test.
Drug test.
Oh, you would call it UPL. I actually, when you asked me about the acid thing last night, I
Yeah.
hit up Lieutenant Hunter, who was on our show earlier. She's our UPL. I'm
Yeah.
like, does acid show up on things? She goes, yeah. I go, I was asking for a friend. It wasn't
It's all right. You're already on every
I'm
one
like,
of them.
yeah, I already am anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
thanks. I didn't get back to you on that one because I'm like,
Oh,
once
that's hilarious.
you said yes, I was like,
Yeah, well, that's gone.
because what do we want to watch? What did you want to watch?
That movie Annihilation.
On that, he goes, hit me up. He goes,
Holy
we should get an
shit.
acid. He goes,
Annihilation.
we should get
Dude,
an
have you
acid.
seen that with who is it? Who's the chick from Star Wars? Padme.
Oh,
Natalie
I've seen
Portman.
that. And Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, where like the whole the bubble thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna pull up the text.
It's epic,
here.
dude. The ending, I'm like, oh my,
My
god, this would be insane.
It's a good movie.
So yeah, Lancey last night goes, let's do some acid, then watch Annihilation and do a review on it. I go,
That sounds like Eilert. He said the same shit.
And-
Not about Annihilation. He
My-
just said, let's all do acid. And
my
DMT.
immediate response was like, I think acid comes up on the UPL. Not sure. I'll look it up.
Check it
And,
out.
and then I immediately like texted things. So I told him I just asked the UPL LT. Let's see what she says. And,
Yeah.
like, she comes back with
Yes, it definitely does.
So I asked the good man. I'm like, does acid come up on UPL? Asking for a friend. And she goes, yeah, I believe so. I'm like, all right, good to know.
Do
Thanks.
you really think they're going to tell you the truth?
No, she would. She would. It comes up. I think it
I'm
does.
sure you
I
could
think
just
I did
Google
more.
it.
I did. But like, I wanted actually a UPL to, also, guess for what was, what's her Miltalk name again? That Reserve LT. Check her out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that one.
Anyway, little.
So how would they? So you would obviously pop on a UPL.
Yeah, so that's the whole
Because
thing.
it
It's
stays
like,
in your fat
so
cells.
like, if it's legal though, it's still there, right? So you take UPL. This is also comes.
Well,
up
I
with
feel
the
like they
whole-
would only be, if it was legal and the military allowed it, I feel like the only thing they would look at on a piss test would be other.
Right.
They would
But-
look at density levels.
But here's another thing that comes up with
could.
with UPL things, and I this is I don't know if it's a rumor or everything. Like if you've ever been drunk on duty,
Yeah.
they could do a test on it. Like besides a back like a breathalyzer, they could do your piss test too.
They
and
can,
say
yeah,
you were-
because it'll
Yeah,
have
'cause
it'll
it's
have
within
residues.
so many hours.
because I always worry about half the time on drill when doing. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking trash.
Yeah, but no one's.
Does that come up with me drunk on duty?
I don't.
Oh boy.
I don't
You
think
know?
that, I don't think they'll ever really do that unless it's like a really serious accident or something like
right.
that.
So what I want to know is like, so THC will show up right on a
Yeah.
UPL no matter what.
Yep.
And so will that affect you like while you're on? Because like you're obviously taking this test on duty.
Well, no,
Even
they
though
have a
THC
different
lasts-
test. They have a different test for. They have a camera where they can basically take your picture with this camera, and this camera reads all your facial features and your eye dilation and all
like-
that stuff, and it can tell you.
That's
It
the high
tells
te-
the officers if you're high, because cops have them for DWIs right now.
Yeah.
In states where it's legal, almost every state patrol officer has one of those in their car, where if they pull you over, they think you're really stoned, like to the point where you can't drive right. If they pull you over going 40 on 90, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, buddy, you got to speed it up. You're like, why, bro?
I mean,
they can take a picture of you.
Bro, this is a
What if you
sweet
just
solo.
look naturally? Like, what if you just look high? Like, that's just your face. Like,
I don't ever smoke weed.
Because your eye dilation and all that kind of shit is different if you are inhibited.
would it be
by
similar if you were like super tired, like you're running on like 2
It
hours
could,
of
yeah, it
sleep?
could be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that have been arrested for DWIs for being sleepy because you can get arrested for that because that's driving while impaired.
Impairment. Yes,
Impairment.
that's
If
the
you're
key
so
word.
tired that you're not driving right and you're swerving, that's illegal as fuck, and they can pull you over for it.
Now, I've only heard, because I don't smoke marijuana because I'm in the Army still.
Yes.
But, I mean, I've heard that it makes, like, you're driving a little bit better. Like, it's
You're
like, a little more aware.
Again, you're less aggressive. You're paying attention to everything around you. Or at least
You're
I
kinda,
am.
like,
It helps.
doing it right?
It helps me.
From what I've heard is,
focus.
like, you're really, like, in the zone is what
Yeah.
I've heard.
It
From what I've
help-
heard, it's like you're right there, like,
Dude,
man,
when
I
I'm-
got this.
when I'm driving.
Only from what I've heard.
And I got 4 kids in the back and
So
my
never done
wife,
this.
and I got 2
Swear to
dogs.
Swear to God.
And I'm just like, yeah, focused. Just focus like a laser. It just helps me focus. I have really bad ADHD though. I've been diagnosed a lot of times, but so that's why it helps me a lot. It helps me focus like crazy.
Well, that's so. All right, so that's the whole big thing is like if it comes up on a test, how will the unit know that like oh he wasn't high on duty, but it still shows up in the system? Like there's no that.
At
This
that
is
point,
what
they,
they're.
they might have to consider other ways to test. Like I know that you can grab like hair and shit.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
also
no,
it's
hair is
expensive.
there for a long time. It takes a really long time.
You can
in
pick
the
up stuff that
lab.
you did before
But
you in the service
But
that you don't want to know
something
about.
that got picked up like it happened like immediately. It's like what they got like because it can last in your system for a minute. if
The
you put,
problem
like-
is if you're impaired. I mean, the side effects of marijuana are hungry, happy, sleepy. You get freaking too much of it in your system, and yeah, you're gonna be like droggy, fucking like you want to just cuddle up on the couch and take
Tell
a
me more
nap.
about marijuana. I've never had this before. So.
And I mean, but you can also snap out of it at the blink of an eye. You can be like, "Psst, oh, sober as fuck now.
Sounds amazing.
If
Cannot wait.
If something happens that's like in an emergency situation, you literally can just pop out of it like
I
nothing's
can't wait
happening.
to try marijuana for the first time in my life after I get out of the service. It's gonna be so great. And
I'm so gonna drop some dimes on you right now.
16 years after I get out of the army, it's gonna be great.
Dude, this is not our high school weed, bro. This is next level
I
shit.
don't even know what you're talking about. I never had it back then. According to
Of
my
course
security
not.
clearance, I have never touched it ever. I don't know what this is. It sounds exciting though. And that the fact that it's about to be legal too. Maybe. I don't know. All right.
To be fair,
the next.
I think 35 states, I believe, is the threshold. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if 35 states legalize it, they have grounds to do a constitutional convention.
You would
to
think
add an
26 would be
amendment.
enough.
No,
It,
3/5 rule.
Yeah, it has.
Dude,
oh, it's a
yeah,
3/5.
3/5 rule.
The
I would
problem
think
is-
51% should fucking show the board.
The problem
what's
is
going
you're
on.
gonna have states where people are so staunch against it. But yeah, constitutional convention is what needs to happen.
Ski, look up how many states
and
are
that's the only way anything's gonna
legally-
get done.
Yeah, well, it's the way
Is-
anything should seriously get done.
Yes, I mean,
Hashtag term limits.
also don't invest in weed companies. 'cause
A number, just give
once
me
it
a
gets
number.
legalized, they're all going bankrupt.
how many states are legally are there?
So far, 19. This
That's
is
it?
accurate? Yeah.
19.
Yeah, but
But they're all the
that's
big
it?
ones.
And-
They're all the big states.
But I think
another
that's just
20
for recreational, and there's several
Yeah,
more that have it
and
legal
another
for
20
medical.
have medical. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 19.
Dude,
are
even
recreational.
Missouri
Okay.
has medical, and Missouri is as
So we're in
red
that 50%.
flagged
So
as
we're
you
like
can
in that
get.
50% cusp.
Yeah. Well,
see.
and then
Let's
Oregon is fucking going balls deep and just legalize everything.
Well, they decriminalized.
They
In
decriminalized, yeah,
just
sorry.
not statewide though, just in Portland, I
Is it
think.
just Portland?
Oregon's,
Okay.
I think
Oregon's
it's
got an
just
interesting
Portland.
thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to secede
To Idaho.
To Idaho, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
part-
hear any.
Eastern
part of
Oregon,
Oregon.
dude. It's
Yeah.
on the
What?
ballot. They're gonna split
Yeah,
the
they
state.
say just leave Portland and the
Coastal
liberal leaning,
areas.
the liberal
So
leaning
basically,
areas,
all
the
the-
coast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Leave
Because-
it as Oregon, and then we want to join the Greater Idaho State.
The greater Idaho. Is
Dude.
Idaho that greater?
No,
Dude,
that's
Idaho
what they
is
want to
fucking
call it.
awesome.
No. I'm asking questions.
Well,
Idaho is one of the most beautiful states. My aunt
Yeah.
and uncle that moved there from California, like, every other normal person, because they love the mountains. And dude, it's an unbelievably beautiful.
So that's
state.
actually kind of cool. So they're trying to split the state up here for that.
well, I
because
mean,
of
there's very valid reasons for that. I mean, like look at even in like Illinois, they're like, downstate. The problems downstate.
Tried to pull away from Northern.
Yeah, but the problems downstate are not the same as the problems in Chicago. And Chicago is what dictates policy statewide.
Well, that's also
which is not fair to everybody.
We should just have city states. Is what
I
we
agree.
should have.
Once a city gets to a certain size, like
20 million people, boom, you're your own
As a
state.
mediator for this fucking show, I'm going to allow some politics on this because it is political season.
The problem with that, though, is that
this is nonpartisan stuff.
But it is. It's crazy though because we have this.
I'm just talking
situation in this
facts.
state too. No, we have this situation in this state. We have a guy running that's from down south in our state against a billionaire that's up north who doesn't give a fuck.
Dude, did you see how much money has been spent in this campaign?
A lot.
Pritzker spent $81 million.
And a lot of it on YouTube too. Like
Bailey,
YouTube ads.
Bailey has spent
I get a bunch.
$1.5 million. He has spent $1.5 million out of his $2 million that he's been able to raise.
But he still sounds like a fucking retard
And
when he talks.
$81 million.
Vote for me because I come
and
from
guess
Southern
what? I've
Illinois.
never seen a Pritzker commercial,
I
which
see a
means
bunch of
they're
them.
only in the city.
Oh, they need
they
some
are
more
saturating
listeners.
the fuck out of
maybe.
the city.
Yeah, they are. That's where I watch
That's all
most
you
of my
see.
YouTube is in the city, and I see it.
All right, back to our
Yeah.
topic we're talking about here besides politics. Jesus Christ.
Well, no, Oregon. So Oregon, yeah.
That's kind of cool though. That's
It
pretty
is cool.
actually fucking awesome.
I think the people of everywhere should be able to have that ability.
So back to the hypothetical.
We're gonna have to redo our fucking flag, though.
God, add another fucking star.
Fucking dickheads. First Puerto Rico's gonna want to get in now.
And I gotta buy new freaking uniform patches.
Oh yeah, right.
That's how it affects me.
I just thought about that. I gotta get a new patch on my goddamn shoulder.
Oh
Just a
shit.
fucking another star. Can I just like white it out? The little one, another star in there. All right, so
Yeah.
like hypothetically, once again, this is all hypothetical. Well, but it's also kind of borderline, right?
Yeah.
It might be happening. So like
It'll be happening in our lifetime.
Once again, if this is all that panned out and the military goes yes, 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 what happens to those guys that got kicked out because of weed charges in the last few
Okay,
years?
so if you so from what my experience has been, and
We'll just amend your discharge papers.
I know a couple of guys that have got popped for weed and got kicked out, whatever. But they got popped for weed, got given like a 3-month suspension, basically. Got kicked out of the unit, but was still in the Marine Corps.
Right.
And then they popped again because they were like, "Fuck it, I'm already fucked. I might as well just keep doing whatever I'm doing."
Yeah.
And they got out under other than honorable discharge, and they said, now I heard this from one or two of them, I can't remember, but he said he was able to amend his discharge.
Yes.
Once like a certain amount of time had gone by.
Usually it's like 6 months or something like that.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm like, well,
Or it's a
they wouldn't have to do
conditional.
anything.
It's a conditional discharge, right?
Yeah.
Where
I'm not
they're
sure.
able
I
to
can't
do-
remember.
Yeah, no, I've heard both.
particulars.
I've heard other than honorable, and I've also heard of conditional discharges, where
Yeah.
same thing. The after a set period of time, it's kind of like naughty probation, right?
Ooh,
Yeah.
naughty probation.
Yeah.
I also find it kind of like messed up that they could just like discharge you for that, just for something, just for a little fucking mistake.
Well, dude, they
you know,
try
it's
not to anymore. They try
Right.
not to because it's
Because of the numbers.
they have so much money invested in you.
Yeah, well-
they don't want to kick you out for
So
something stupid.
What my experience was with a lot of guys that popped for anything in my platoon,
Cocaine.
we used usually it was usually that we didn't go for any of the light stuff.
No, yeah, you're like going 72-hour drugs. That's what we're doing.
baby.
Yeah, niacin. You always be wary of someone with pills and niacin in their medicine cabinet. But
That B12.
we had a lot of guys. We had a lot of guys that would pop for stuff, and
Vitamin B12.
they would hold them. They would hold them in the Marine Corps until like a week before their contract was up, and then kick them out.
Oh, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
just total dick him in the ass.
Yeah, just
that
total.
green giant sausage.
And a lot of those guys get one NJP, and then they're gonna get. They know they're getting kicked out, and then all of a sudden it's second NJP, third, fourth, fifth.
Well, I got one buddy where he got NJP'd for drug pop, and they gave him his 3 months, and he was like, "No, I fucked up. I want to be in the Corps." And I think part of it was his entire family got fucking Marine Corps EGA tattoos on their forearms because they were all Marines, like his grandpa, his dad, his uncle, his brother. He was, and he didn't want to black that bitch out. So he freaking he did like an extra. What do you do? Another 8 years. Served with 3-5 moved there from 1-1. And ended up was in Fallujah, was in Ramadi, like all these places. I'm
I
like,
served
holy
with 3-5 in Fallujah.
I'm like, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking rough.
But he turned it around.
Well, I had a
So
guy.
I mean, that's why you shouldn't kick anybody out on their first pop.
Yeah, we had a guy in my platoon.
These are psycho 18-year-old
Yeah.
kids with nothing to lose. That's why
Yeah,
they
I'm
joined
not-
the military.
We had a guy in my platoon that popped for painkillers and same shit. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I fucked up, and he ended up doing his full hitch, and
yeah.
I think he got honorable, and or at
Some-
least ended
dude,
up getting
People
honorable.
make mistakes.
Some
right?
people,
shit
some people, and a lot of them are from small towns. They get stationed in a place like San Diego, and they just lose their
They go ham, yeah.
fucking minds.
What, we've lost guys in the reserve side too.
You know what I mean?
These
And-
are some of our guests that have
I
been on the
imagine
show.
it's easier in the reserves to get nipped for shit like that.
It's all like command discretion.
It also
too,
takes
right?
longer too. Sometimes, like
yeah.
Sometimes you just need a nick in the ass though, and just be like, "Hey, you fucked up.
Yeah,
This
how
is your
many-
one mistake."
Yeah.
Let's
yeah, but
move
they
forward.
got kicked out, and then they're actually still allowed back in, but like they kind of booted them out.
Yeah.
Because again, it's that conditional discharge,
Yeah,
right?
how many guys do you guys have that just like probably smoke weed recreationally
A lot.
right
Yeah.
now?
a lot.
And then they just happen never to get piss tested or whatnot.
It's a lot. It happens a lot. I mean, half the time I go, why don't I just smoke weed? like half the time I'm pretty sure I can get away with it.
I mean, shit. During COVID, we probably could have gotten.
Oh,
away
I know.
with it.
Yeah, right. Like
Remote learning for 2 years.
it's so like
You get the drug testing package mailed to your house.
Just fill it with the dog's piss.
Hey, come here, girl.
take my daughter like, hey, pee in this. Like, you're pregnant. What the fuck? She's only 8 years old.
You need to take the test while on like a Teams call.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, because they gotta watch you do it. You're like,
Pecker
wait, I
checkers
gotta
got
aim my
everyone's
camera
dicks
down
in
my
their
dick.
face.
Please move your camera down. I can't see your cock.
Why does it say it's recording?
it's totally there. What do you mean you can't see it?
Jesus, that's offensive.
He's got like 8 videos.
Watch the
of fucking
pecker
dudes
checker gets
pissing in
busted
the
for having an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden an OnlyFans account pops up with dudes pissing in bottles.
Nothing but dicks.
Fucking ridiculous. All right, so like my last thing on this one though
Yeah.
is like it is my opinion. Is like I think this is definitely something that if was legal would really help the veterans on all this shit and like keep veteran suicide down. Also, being a veteran and being
Yeah.
a pot smoker,
Yeah.
a grower, the works.
Yeah.
Let's get your opinion on all this shit. Like,
I think I don't believe that it should be on active duty. I don't think people on active duty should be able to smoke or have it in their system or whatnot.
never ever.
Now you can do like
Fuck
CBD gummies and shit because they say CBD. The problem with CBD is you have to take it in massive quantities for
Yeah.
it to be effective.
Yeah. I do high dose for my,
So like
my joints.
when people are taking like 5 milligram CBD gummies, that's literally you're not doing shit. That's like a
I need 11,000 milligrams for my
yeah.
joints.
You're supposed to take on average it's like 2,000 milligrams of CBD is what you're supposed to take. So CBD could be effective on the military side, which I don't know if that's illegal or not.
It's not legal currently.
on the military side, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Anything like
there
they were
was
even
someone who
warning
just-
about some of the vapes. They had like small trace concentrations of,
What, like Delta 8 stuff?
and maybe I don't know.
This is
enough
my
to
Yeah.
speak.
I'm glad my lawyer's here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
were
there's
you
like
there?
this whole thing that like even like CBD ointments and moisturizers and stuff like that will
Yeah.
still
It still has fractions of THC.
right,
in it.
and they'll
Yeah.
still pop you for a fucking UPL test.
Holy
And so
crap.
they're like, yeah, anything that has CBD in it or whatever, you need to stay the fuck away from it because they'll pop you.
Because there's that one kid we when we worked with the guys down at Pennsylvania. or whatever.
Microphone fucker.
From Pennsylvania.
Pencil. Oh
He
yeah,
got
during
yeah.
the actual exercise.
Yeah, during he got the
is when they
call
notified him.
saying he tested positive for CBD, and he thought it was fine, but no, he got he popped out.
remember
He was also kind of a retard.
Yeah,
Was
but
he like
still,
an
he shouldn't
E2
get-
or an E3? And
Yeah.
he was
He
just
shouldn't
Super
get kicked out
dumb.
for that if he legitimately didn't know.
Well,
well,
You
it
can't
was
claim.
like-
You can't claim
the kid was like
because you're stupid.
20, 21.
you can't
Right,
claim
like-
stupidity
right.
even though you're in the military.
Right, but
and
it-
we're all stupid for being in the
But
military.
here's the thing:
Correct, yeah.
it doesn't say on many of those CBD things that this will show up on a drug test. This could get you kicked out of
But
like.
they don't have to.
Yeah,
No, you as the consumer should be knowledgeable as far as what you're putting into your body.
Right,
Oh,
but I mean, like-
100%.
but like I
Like
give
I
him-
should be popping hot for all those fucking Wild Tiger, Red Bull, fucking crossover things. I get at the dollar store.
How
you
much
know?
Chernobyl have you drank?
I just watched that the other night.
so
Oh
good.
my!
I am my own chem light.
Great white buffalo.
that green light's actually him glowing right now.
But yeah, I mean, like,
Rating
between
it-
some of that shit,
radiating it out.
it's on me to know what the fuck I'm putting in my body.
Yeah.
So if I'm like using some CBD ointment for fucking grandma's like joint paint or something.
We have warning labels on literally every fucking thing else.
Well,
we're
it's also on you to know what it is and what isn't allowed in the military.
Yeah,
like,
correct.
Or when you travel abroad to Russia and then become a political pawn.
That
You should know where
you
your
should-
weed pens are
First
at
of all,
all times.
That is the thing. When everyone hears this, like, oh, she just brought weed into Russia. She brought weed into a foreign country with their own laws.
that
She
are
crossed an
ridiculous.
international border.
Hey,
I mean, it
thankful
was
that shit
okay
was
for
in
the Russians to
Malaysia.
exploit her
Fucking
basketball
Malaysia.
talent. Once
Oh,
the
they
season
kill
was
her in
over,
Malaysia.
Fucking kill you if you bring weed into Malaysia.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, Malaysia was getting fucking pretty
Brunei,
crazy
too.
there for a while,
Yeah,
so they
like-
needed a psycho
Is
to come
Singapore
in
like
and
that too?
Yeah, I think
well,
like all Southeast
not
Asia.
I don't think Singapore's got the death penalty for weed, but it's definitely very serious.
dude, they probably beat you with a cane
They
like
do.
500 times.
You know who else is bad? Duarte in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
Philippines. Oh.
Ooh, Duarte.
My neighbor smells like weed.
Dead.
FBI, open up.
Wait, I did the right thing and reported. Why are you killing me?
Yeah, I think federally it should be legal, but not allowed in the military.
Okay, so
On active duty.
So we're all right. Let's take some votes on this. Like, Sam, what do you think about weed in the military?
You know, I'm gonna still be kind of a fence sitter on this one. I'm gonna say not legal right away once it goes federally legal, but down the line, I think it should be allowed.
Well, that's what we're saying. Like, if it becomes,
I say ultimately, eventually, yes.
so you're pro. For,
I'm a pro eventually.
Okay, if it becomes
Again, I think the rules for it should be similar to alcohol. You can't do it downrange. You can't do it like this, that, the other. And
yeah, well, it's like a substance, right?
and
Just
and
like,
if you're in a
be
foreign,
sober on duty.
yeah, and if you're in
Yeah.
a foreign country where it is not legal, you cannot imbibe it.
Right. Be
there
sober
too.
on duty.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
right.
we should follow the same.
Here's
rules.
another thing we could learn from history on what happened during Prohibition. So Prohibition happened, and it was countrywide, military, obviously, still, right? Military alcohol was not allowed.
I think it only pertained within the United States borders.
But the military was under that, right? They were not allowed
only
to drink.
while you were within the United States
So
borders.
how long after Prohibition was ended was
Also,
the military
hold on.
allowed to drink?
That's also a misnomer. You were still allowed to ingest alcohol during Prohibition. You were not. You were also allowed to
Medicinal
possess it.
alcohol.
No, even in general, because there were a lot of private clubs before Prohibition went into effect that bought up massive stockpiles of booze and
Yeah.
sat on it. And if you were a member,
Oh, because you couldn't buy it.
you couldn't buy it. You
That's
could not.
right.
You couldn't buy it, and you could not sell it unless it was for medicinal
But
purposes.
people could consume it.
You could still
if it was
consume it.
Yeah, because you were
offered
able to
them for
produce
free.
a certain
Yeah.
amount of your own alcohol too during Prohibition. and
Yes, because
ingest
they
it,
also
right.
couldn't restrict it from religious ceremonies
Right,
as well.
but there
I
was a
was
limit
just-
on how much you could
yeah.
produce. It was like limited to like a gallon or something like
Yeah,
that. Right?
yeah,
Of
and
There
there
was
was
a horrible like decade and a half of bullshit.
I was just thinking about if we looked
wasn't
at
even
that,
that long.
and how
I thought it was
that
a full decade.
It was a decade. It wasn't a decade and a half.
on how that happened.
Change?
How quickly did that change? 10 years?
Was it 10 years? I thought it was a little over
It's
10.
like 9 or 10.
21 to what?
I think
30?
28,
Oh,
29.
you've got the goddamn Google machine.
No,
That's
I'll
your
look
job.
up-
Go look it up, assholes.
It
Like,
ended-
you're literally
It
Jonesy.
ended right before the Great Depression. I want to say it ended in.
Oh, so 28?
I want to
Oh,
say 29.
1933.
Oh,
1933.
1933. Sorry.
Told you.
Yeah.
till from when?
So people were not only
Lasted from
bankrupt,
1920 to 1933.
Such a
So-
decade and some change. I
Yeah.
wasn't
so
wrong.
people
13 years.
couldn't
It
even
actually-
drink when
it-
they were broke.
It got
Yeah.
repealed on December 5th,
I
1933.
remember Untouchables a lot. It was a great movie. That's the only reason I probably remember that.
I was just thinking about how the military side reacted to that versus
right.
the civilian side.
So we got Sam
You know what I
saying.
mean?
So we got Sam saying he's pro.
Yep.
If it goes there.
the
Petey.
I'm for it only when they come up with a better test for impairment,
Like on duty.
On duty. So obviously,
It's
well,
a billion
in here-
dollar invention right there.
Well, patent pending.
Yeah.
What's it called? Obviously, even when you're on a traffic stop, right? The roadside breathalyzer tests are not admissible in court. They're simply adding.
So Pete, have you seen these things? My buddy, who's a sheriff, was telling me about these things. Those cameras where they can take your picture or they put your face in the video screen,
Right.
and it reads all that shit on you.
Yeah, but
How available is that technology to everybody?
I don't think they are that available yet. Plus, what is the science behind? Because, like I said, even the roadside
mean get
breathalyzers
it
are
thrown
not
out.
admissible in court. All they do is validate or add substance to the probable cause for your arrest. It's the DUI or the breathalyzer that occurs at the station or the blood draw at the hospital that is an admissible piece of evidence
Some legit
for your
shit.
level of intoxication.
So how would they hit you if they did a DWI on you, and let's just say you were deemed not able to drive due to being so tired, as you were saying earlier?
So in Illinois, the intoxication or influence statute, it's all under one, right?
Yeah.
So if you're so tired or whatever else, you're still charged under the intoxicated statute.
But how do they? I'm saying
Because
if
it's
they
based on
can-
observation, right?
If they can quantify that, they
because
can
it's
quantify
based on
the
observation,
weed.
right? So
Yeah.
because of X, Y, Z that I observed pulling you over,
Yeah.
it leads to a normal person believing that yes, you were impaired.
Couldn't they just do that with weed though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and just
But
get
what
you
I'm
under
saying
the
for-
sleepy statue.
But for duty, yeah,
I'm gonna give
for
you guys-
duty related status, right? Like if I'm
Yeah.
on duty, like I would want a measurable, like other than
Yeah, you gotta have something
other than the
quantitative.
first sausage coming and saying, "Oh, you're sleepy," or this or that or whatever. No, I would
Or some
want
asshole
quantity.
on the rifle range accusing you for sleeping when you're tying your boot.
Yeah, it's got to be some sort of quantitative
Absolutely.
measure.
Not that that happened to me or anything.
So
like that.
I'm all for it. I think there's some things that are definitely,
You're pro for it. Okay.
yeah, but you
rock
have
and
to have
roll.
a good way of measuring.
I've
I
seen-
think that's very reasonable.
And limited
I'm gonna
quantities.
skip you because I already know where you'd be like, yeah, go for it.
He's like, no, I'm actually against it.
He actually said it. He actually said he's
Right.
against it on active duty.
I did say I'm against it on active duty.
Well,
Yeah.
I have duty. Like, well, all right. Well, all right. Dip in
because
there.
because along with Pete's point, there's no quantitative way of figuring out how much is in somebody's system,
Yeah, but you can
how
kinda-
often they're
you
using
can see
it.
if they're fucking high though, right?
Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Like the ones that are obvious. Well,
Yeah.
like guys you could tell like me that can't tell if you're drunk on duty.
But I got, dude, I know people.
oh, we know.
You-
we know.
You have no idea when I'm
Dude,
drunk
I
on
know,
duty.
I know
I'm
people
like, hey,
that
how's it going?
wake
I've
up
already
in
had,
the
like, a fifth.
morning. They wake up in the morning. They smoke a fucking bowl.
Yeah.
They drink a cup of coffee. They go to the gym.
Yeah.
They fucking go to work all day, and they function like you would never know.
But yeah,
that they were
because it's,
stoned.
those people are okay. I fall into that line of like,
Yeah.
that's how I live life.
I just imagine like the really lightweight who's digging through the MREs. Like, man, I need those fucking Cheez-Its right now. Like, where are they?
jalapeno cheese.
Someone might actually eat the Skittles and Charms now.
Ooh, yummy.
So I get your
Yeah.
point of it.
Yep.
I mean, there are people that can handle substances and function throughout the day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I.e. me.
Yeah.
Like I fucking half the time on duty.
How empty
For
is your
certain.
fucking pail right now?
I got a backup bottle. Okay, that's why there's a backup bottle. I'm an abuser of substances. I understand this. Like, but I'm a high functioning member of
Yes.
society.
He
High
only
functioning.
hides a couple bottles behind the toilet in the downstairs.
when-
Totally
No
fine.
big deal.
Yeah, when it comes down to like actual, like you guys see me when we're doing this shit, but like Ski or Pete there could verify, like when I'm on duty, I'm fantastic drunk.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have better shifts when I'm slightly hungover.
yeah, right.
honestly.
Or on like
I
just
mean,
legitimately drunk in the gun.
That
like, I
never
gotta-
happened. That's, I mean,
No,
if
it's-
that ever happened, you probably would be awesome on duty.
Right.
If.
I.e.
He's already on a first sergeant watch list.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm literally DMing everybody like, "Hey, how's it going, man?"
He's downloading every
It's for
episode
certain.
right now for
Yeah.
the case against
It's
him.
it's
He's
related.
gone, man.
It's related, but what's it called? It was the best thing ever when the Army Substance Abuse Program had challenge coins that were bottle openers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is
Can I have all of those, please?
That's fantastic.
Ski though, Ski. Your opinion on this though? Like,
I'm
let's hear
pretty
it.
pro for it. Like, I've
Does it
never-
cure cancer?
I'm right at the fucking
No,
mic.
now you are. All right, talk.
All right.
Talk. Let me hear it.
Moik.
Moik. I'm pretty pro
Yep.
for it. Like, I've
Yeah.
never used it, never really wanted to use it. Like, if I get out, I'll probably try it. But like, I'm for it. Like, I agree with
So
Lancey's
he
point.
totally has it.
Yeah, I agree with Lancey's point. Like, there's got to be a lot of shit to work out for the active duty side 'cause there's a lot more like risk involved since
Yeah.
there's a lot more action,
Sure,
especially
sure.
when it comes to like combat roles. But
Yeah.
like reserve side, fucking, you know, combat support, admin, fucking all those people who don't do like really important shit.
Hey, that's all
Combat
important.
jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
combat
Definitely
jobs.
can't be doing that on a field op.
Hey,
They'd
fuck
smell
no.
you for miles.
Your paperwork's not important. Is that what it is? Your comms are important.
All right, guys,
man,
on this op, we're
two
not
hours
going to
before?
be smoking bongs, all right?
I was totally gonna
Edibles
submit
only.
your paperwork, but man, fucking, you know, it just got
Anyone dabbing?
wasted.
You see pack lists and just guys
So-
got fucking
so you're
pipes
pro.
and bongs.
Pretty pro.
Fucking dabs and
You're
torches.
all right.
Those
Marine.
are real. Don't do those.
Hot, 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 hot.
Hot, 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 hot,
Yeah,
hot,
yeah.
hot.
Roll the coin.
Dude, I
Fucking
just
shit
watched The
down.
Wizard of Oz last night. The original. Oh my god, incredible.
Pink Floyd on the background.
Dude, incredible.
need like a fucking master sergeant to walk in, a gunny to fucking walk in.
Just pull a picture of
Make 'em-
Mattis.
I'm a
Like,
civilian.
that's
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Once they see a gunny, they'll freak out. All right, so you're pro on it. That's good. All right, so
I
basically
think it's pro pretty much across the board.
Pro.
across the board,
Yep.
it's good. I think Lancey had the most like severe concerns about it.
They're valid, though.
I do
they
agree
are.
with him on that.
They
Again, not downrange.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, you need them angry.
Vietnam will tell you
Know what I mean?
otherwise.
yeah, exactly.
That's why we lost.
So yeah, I just watched that Beer Run movie, man. Holy shit, that was pretty good.
What was it?
Did
Beer.
it die? Yeah. You kept it on too long. Doesn't matter.
Anyway,
There's no work way.
You kept it on too long. No, yeah, you're perfectly fine for duty. You got that tonight or what?
All right. We wrapped it up. We understand.
We're
Like,
good.
All right, it's majority.
Yeah.
Majority of us say yay. With a
It was
little
a good
bit of-
topic. Good
with
topic
a little
to
bit of
bring up.
like, maybe not.
Yep.
There's probably some more things we could have talked about on it.
All right, now heroin. What's up?
totally agree.
What's
Need to be
everyone's
using it
thoughts?
downrange.
The good old H.
They do use it downrange. It's called morphine.
They used it in Vietnam.
How'd that movie review go today?
Would you want yours
It's pretty
full up
good.
there?
Oh yeah, you never covered fucking pizza.
Do you want yours, Pete?
All right, he gets 32 seconds.
Pete, what'd you have? Pete, you gave it a 3.
3. That was good. It's like a childish kind of appropriate, That was good.
Thanks for the grown-up review.
My kids liked it,
You're
therefore I didn't.
All right, we got to wrap this episode up.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
No, I don't.
I got work.
He's got like a job or something. I don't know. All right,
I'm a
please.
working man.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You did it last week. Do it again. Fuck you.
Plug social media and merch.
Repeat the line.
Period.
God damn it.
Please follow, subscribe, share. Remind we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all podcast platforms, and watch us on YouTube at Semper Hooah. You can follow us on Facebook at Semper Hooah Podcast and IG at Semper Hooah. Check out the merch at semperhooah.com/shop.
.com.
You can support the show at semperhooah.com with a monthly subscription of your choosing. 50% of all merch profits go to Tango 3. Petey.
Tango 3. With your help, they'll help support vetted organizational projects that help with veteran mental health issues and veteran suicide prevention through the sale of Dove Creek Cashew Wagyu beef jerky.
Don't forget to send the hate mail to contact at semperhooah.com.
And because Petey's not here, but he is.
And as always, all views and opinions are not expressive of the
It's
DOD,
scratchy.
any of its branches, or any military
What the
government
fuck did
or
you do?
agency, organization.
Actually, I think I might have.
Did you hear that? I love that like you were here, but we still did it. Why did that come up so scratchy?
I don't know. It's your
I
shit.
hope that's like on our side, not like the actual.
I'm completely fine on duty.
I'm just a little high. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next episode.
Till next time.
Word.
Till next time.